Hello,
No.
everyone. Well, shut the fuck up. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Hello, everyone.
Wow, demonetized.
Cucked at every turn.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Hinamizawa.
No, Hinamizawa.
When we last left our heroes, we were talking about barley tea and black tea and a millstone. Which is weird because that doesn't have anything to do with anything. I'm sure that's not like an analogy of some kind. We're just talking about drinks and millstones, obviously. The phone suddenly rang, and we were in Rosa's room for some reason. I woke up in a hurry. The clock read 9 p.m. Damn it! I slept past the time I was supposed to report in. I picked up the receiver. Who wants to be front desk?
Akasaka-sama, you have a call from an outside line. Shall I connect you? It's from a coworker named Kanao-sama.
I knew it. I didn't call, so they had phoned me. Sorry, please put them through.
Understood. I'll connect you, so please, hang up the receiver for the time being.
This is the goofiest receptionist I've ever heard. Bro's wearing clown makeup.
100% serious receptionist.
After I had put down the receiver for a few seconds, the phone began to ring again. Yes, hello? This is Akasaka. Alright, there we go. I got all the text.
Akasaka-kun, this is Kano. Good work out there. You didn't call in for your regular report, so we called instead. What's your situation?
Wait, is this a 428 Shibuya Scramble reference? Because there's a cop character in that game, and their name's Kano. That's
You'll
crazy.
be strangled.
Oh, I thought it was Takano. Okay, never mind.
Leaving the lecture for later, my senior coworker got straight to the point. Today I went to the village proper. Under the guise of a tourist, I managed to establish contact with the mayor and several other core members of the Guardians. I wasn't able to ask them anything, but I left a good impression and was able to make a bridge for my investigation from tomorrow onwards. The villager listening through the paper-thin walls is just nodding like, interesting.
Like he built a bridge in one day?
How is he gonna build a bridge? Does he have that many materials?
I guess so.
Alright, we
see.
need canoe.
It looks like things are going smoothly. Akasaka-kun seem rather naive sometimes. That might have worked in your favor.
I guess you made... Oh, wait, sorry.
I guess you made some good progress for now?
I thought I had all the text. I did not. I don't have the experience to make a comparison, so I don't know if it's that good or not. I think things went well for today, though.
Do you find out anything from the prefecture or local offices? Does it look as though the Onigafuchi Guardians is unrelated to this incident?
I still didn't know. I should have been able to say that immediately. I only had to say that, but for some reason, I hesitated.
I'm still investigating.
I'm still investigating, so I don't know what to say yet.
I see. Could you let us know as soon as possible? I think you understand, but after tonight, it'll have been a full 4 days since the kidnapping happened. They didn't set a time limit. It's rather obvious that time isn't on our side. I think you know that.
Doesn't the rate of finding kidnapping victims drop dramatically after 72 hours?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's within like the first 48 first and foremost, but yeah.
Uh-oh. Yeah, I know. I'll investigate a little quicker, while still being careful about it.
Okay. Be sure to look after yourself. We're dealing with a violent organization here. It might be dangerous to let your guard down. If you feel that you're in any danger, contact me immediately.
Sure, yes, sir.
In that case, you can get a local public safety office prepared to help you.
Yeah, a lot of good that'll do. If I get fucking beaten to death in the middle of the village. Thank you.
They can maybe resurrect him.
I'll do my best. Yeah, the public safety office is so good, they can actually retroactively help him. It's like necromancy, but with more bureaucracy.
Necro-bureaucracy.
Necro. That's just hell.
Anything else to report?
I reported several bits of supplementary information, and at the very end,
It's just the state of my wife.
And at the very end, I decided to ask, how's the investigation going on your end?
Everybody's doing your wife here. We're not making much progress. After all,
She's insatiable.
number of organizations we're investigating is vast.
Oh my god.
So, if you find out the one you're investigating is in the clear, I'll have you return to Tokyo to assess some of the other officers.
With his wife? Wow.
The chief is saying to dig up what you can on the Onigafuchi, but I don't think a residential anti-dam protest group has any relation to the incident at hand. Sending somebody out just to investigate a single group makes me cringe, really.
Oh my god, he's putting in his cringe compilation.
At this point, he was just complaining. He was telling me to stop taking time enjoying my trip, to finish up and get back quick. I'll try and resolve this as soon as I can.
Thanks. I'm counting on you. Well done. There's nothing else. I'm hanging up.
Okay, that's all I have. As we were ending our call, he scolded me thoroughly for being late with my regular report. After that, I hung up the phone and sprawled out on the bed, with a very loud sound effect. Come to think of it, I hadn't heard anything from Oishi. Maybe he was already dead and replaced with a doppelganger. He was he was supposed to contact me about a time and place to meet with the informant tonight. I thought about getting angry with
Actually, the doppelganger couldn't show up this time because he was too busy fucking Akasaka.
Oh my
His
god.
wife.
No, they would be fucking the imposter Akasaka's wife, first of all. Second of all,
Sussy, man.
I thought about getting angry with Oishi in retaliation for being scolded for forgetting my daily report. Come to think of it, though, Oishi didn't really say anything other than that he was going to call tonight. Waiting for a phone call when you didn't know what time it was going to come was in itself rather difficult. Oh, well, just when I thought that, the phone rang. How convenient. I picked up the receiver in a hurry.
It was coming
Hello?
from inside the house.
Oh no, we have the sex music again.
What?
Well, this is a surprise. Nagasaka-san. You're pretty quick to answer the phone. Are you a regular user of dating chat lines or something?
See, Oishi,
I know your
Oishi
wife
is a
is.
He's projecting so fucking hard.
No, see, Oishi is like... He's talking about dating chat lines because that's where he's calling from.
It's just
That's
what I
why
said.
this music is playing. I would never even try something seedy like that.
This music is actually the hold music for the dating chat line Oishi works for.
See, I
The
told
way you
you!
overreact is rather interesting. Want to go to a place where we can have a little bit of lewd fun?
See, I told you. You guys need to trust me more.
You need to trust us more.
I'll pass, so could you please get to the point, Oishi-san?
Really? Too bad. We'll leave that
Oh,
for
you
next
cut
time
out.
then.
Okay.
Well, I'll get to the point.
Dang, we're not gonna get to fuck Oishi this time. What a shame.
Not yet.
Many of
That comes
the
later.
You mean this time?
Yeah,
That
we
happens in chapter 60.
we haven't gotten our social link high enough.
Ted, pinpoint when that happened before.
When what happened?
Don't play dumb.
Exactly. I'm so
Don't play dumb.
glad you understand,
What?
Tej.
No, I'm actually confused. What the fuck are you talking about?
When we got to fuck Wish.
Okay, I'll let it slide. He caught dementia between saying it and... Okay.
No, you just said that. I don't know what you're referring to. Anyway. You cut out so hard. Many of the executives of the Onigafuchi Guardians had a lot of sway in the neighboring regions. Even in Okinomiya, there were a lot of people with relations in the village, like how Oishi had relations with Akasaka. That's why meeting in the Shishibone...
And his wife.
No. That's why meeting in the
So
Shishibone
Akasaka
Market
is fine with
District...
not his wife?
Yes.
Shishiboning his wife.
That's why meeting in That's why meeting in Shishibone Market District, far from Okinomiya, was a matter of course. Wait, Market District? Are we going to Sevensmart?
Saka-san, over here. Did you get a little lost? Coming from the north entrance might have been a bit of a detour, but it was easier to give directions from there.
For some reason, you're like cutting out, but then you like cut in saying the correct thing. I don't know what's going on there, but it's like half working. No, I'm sorry for being late. I was actually late by the way.
I may need
This
to
is
relocate
relevant.
where I am, actually. Did you eat dinner already?
Yeah, I already did.
Well then, shall we go to a place where we can get you a drink? Do you prefer Western alcohol? Or maybe sake? Would you prefer a place with or without women?
Okay, you guys see what I mean, right? Like, he's cutting out, but it's still all coming through. It's weird. Anyway.
Excellent. Let me relocate where I'm seated.
Don't worry about it. I don't drink while I'm on the job. Damn, he's like choosing all the wrong choices for our social link up. Hearing that, the man that Oishi had brought along bent backwards as he guffawed, clapping Oishi on the shoulder. Or maybe on the cheeks.
See? Isn't he just adorable? Hey, can you give him
Oh my god!
Holy
Money all
fuck!
came from this guy's wallet, you know?
What?
Are
What
you,
was that?
are you trapped in a washing machine? What happened?
Someone's bringing the fucking rent down.
Did it get worse?
Someone
Maybe
just shot a gun in the back.
It sounded like somebody shot a gun in the background.
Oh, that was the door.
Oh, that
that
was just me. That was just me murdering Tepe. Don't worry about it. The man that Oishi had brought.
He was late.
The man that Oishi had brought seemed almost like a ticket scalper or a bookie. Even his appearance was dubious. The informant grinned deviously. Sato! He just needs
Oh my
the
God.
she.
It's the guy from Ajin. Incredible.
Hey boy, how much did you get this guy? It looks like there was quite a bit skimmed off the top, you know. I don't know why I'm doing fucking Valley Girl voice. Anyway. Actually, that's not really Valley Girl, is it? No. Anyway. Oishi's handling fee was included, so I took that into account. It seemed that the informant had expected a more extravagant reaction on my part. When I responded matter-of-factly, he realized that I was an entirely different type of person than he was. But rather than putting a distance between us, it seemed that I had piqued his interest.
I said it, didn't I? He's the serious type. But do you see, Akasaka-san? People in a line of work like ours can really use their wealth of experience to their advantage.
I'm wondering how exactly the experience of drinking in a bar with a woman would work to my advantage. Christmas! The informant, unable to contain himself, clutched at his stomach and as he guffawed, heedless of the people watching.
Oh, Lottie, Akasaka-san, you really can judge people. That's what education does for you.
Oishi-san? You've been drinking somewhere, haven't you? Are you drunk?
What's wrong with drinking when I'm off duty? Even if you're working, I'm not.
Oishi, who was the sort that'd fool around to begin with, was in such a good mood I couldn't figure out a way to deal with him. Gun. Completely different than me, who had come worried about getting every bit of information I could. Uishi-san, after taking so much money, you were supposed to get me information worth at least as much. I thought this, but then I realized I was getting my information from the informant, so it didn't matter how drunk Oishi was. It was nothing I could complain about, but I still felt slightly riled up, so I shot him in the head. 15 times. And then I reloaded. Oishi and the informant, it was no doubt a fake name, but he introduced himself as Sato, led the way deeper and deeper into the back streets of the market district, where he shanked me. Even though, where was that bustling marketplace now? A couple turns off the main street, you were in a desolate alleyway. And you were in a desolate alleyway. Oishi started climbing a set of stairs on the side of a seedy building. There wasn't any sort of signage, so I couldn't tell if the place was open or if it was even a store at all.
Don't worry, this isn't a dubious place.
Very comforting when you just hear someone unprompted say that this place isn't dubious. Those words, coming from Oishi's mouth, had absolutely no credibility. Beyond the door, hey! Hey, we're here! Was thankfully a typical Mahjong parlor. I was relieved that it wasn't the sort of suspicious place that I had to be on my guard about.
An evil Mahjong parlor.
I mean, fucked up stuff happens when you're gambling in the backstreet.
Welcome! Oh, Oishi-san,
Don't tell him,
it's
that's
been a
spoiler.
while. Wanna join in? There'll be a free spot soon.
No, I'm here with a group today, so it's fine. Oh, sorry to keep you waiting.
Mahjong is a game played with 4 people. Really? I didn't know
No
that.
way! That's incredible. What a deep lore reveal. We gotta pay
Mahjong
attention
is
to this,
real?
guys. Someone write that down.
It seemed that a middle-aged man, who was going to be our 4th, had already arrived and was waiting for us. So many old men.
Running the world.
Katie's
You're
favorite.
late, Kurado. I was just thinking of going home.
Oops. Oishi made an excuse for why we had taken so long. Eventually, realizing that I was a new face, the other man grew interested, romantically.
That's Akasaka-san. He's a rookie who came all the way from Tokyo on assignment. They have high hopes for him.
What voice was I doing for this guy again? I totally
like
forgot.
weird.
Camp gay.
Valley girl, almost.
Yeah, Valley Girl, kinda.
Boy, can you play Mahjong?
There we go.
Well, I played a bit when I was still a student. Sato and the old man cackled in unison. Their plot to sucker me out of my money was painfully obvious.
I thought you'd be a bit tired from your assignment, leaving you on edge all the time. So I thought I'd give you a night to cleanse your spirit.
Cleanse your spirit by giving up all your mortal possessions.
Exactly. It's the path to enlightenment.
I know asking this now might be stupid, but we're all police, aren't we?
Well, let's not talk about that. Loosen up a bit. We won't actually gamble anything. We're just deciding who's going to pay for everyone to go play at a very nice place afterward.
Go play? What kind of place would you be doing that? Hokkaido, perhaps? Without reservation, the three of them started suggesting places like cabarets, high-class clubs, and even brothels. That was probably a Wishi's suggestion. At the very least, they were the types of places you couldn't go with money that was just for funsies. Oishi-san took all my money the other day, and I also have work to do, so I can't stay for long.
Then all you have to do this time is win! If you win, then you won't have to pay for this table! And you can talk to Corrado about work or whatever!
Actually, I think all you need to do is just not be last place, right?
Yeah.
No matter what happened, it seemed like they were intent on playing Mahjong for free. I would have to fasten my resolve a bit. If I was going to be underestimated like this forever, it was going to get in the way of my work. I understand. Then, I'll play with you guys for just a bit. If I win, you guys don't get any of the money or get to go to any of those dirty places, and we talk about work right away.
Yeah, bring it on!
Oh boy, we get Mahjong drama.
If we win, we're headed straight to the Blue Mermaid on Flower Road.
This'll let you likes that place too. Of course, we're gonna hop between all the places where they keep the girls coming. Akemi-chan! What about you, Sato-san?
I'd prefer a place where we can drink quietly.
Like a nice quiet place with a bunny girl? The last time we went drinking, you pulled the tail right off that bunny girl, didn't you? Didn't you end up having to pay for that?
The owner started a bottle of Sorry, I almost pronounced it correctly. The owner started a bottle of Dom Perignon on my tab and called it a tailoring fee. What a lively table this was. I could tell the other customers were glaring at us while we loudly continued our crude conversation. Speaking of which, the fact that they assumed I was the same was a bit disheartening. I mean, you are a different type of pervert, I'll give you that.
You did the cutting.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about how he wants
cut?
Rika to call him daddy. Oishi had taken all the money I'd brought, so everything I had left
Well, yeah,
out was
because-
out of my own pocket.
Because Rika's another man's daughter.
Exactly.
We went over this.
Oh, in addition, there wasn't that much left of that either. If I kept on hanging around him like this, through his goading, my wallet would disappear into the night. I had to somehow win and return the conversation to my job. But these people, no matter how you looked at it, were pretty good. Sorry, Yukie. Yo, club time with the cops!
Well then, I'll just call Rishi here.
Well, the old man and Sato-san probably won't fall for this silly reach.
I thought it would have been really funny if you just actually had to play Mahjong here. Like, it just suddenly
Well, I mean, there is
turned into a
PS3...
Mahjong game.
Okay, but there is PS3 options that haven't come up still, so there is a chance. Fingers crossed. Well, the old man and Sato-san...
Well, the old man and Sato-san probably won't fall for this silly Rishi. I wonder if Akasaka-kun will spit out what I need.
Oh, that's weird.
At any rate, Corretto's hand is probably holding something like that, huh? In that case, this one ought to go through. There!
Oh ho! The old man's pretty good. He's quietly trying to use one of my save tiles to complete his hand, isn't he? It seems that... Wait. Wait, which one? This is Oishi again.
I guess it's Oishi's
Why
perspective.
is it Oishi's perspective now? This is weird.
I don't know why. It seems that Sakura has at least learned the ropes when it comes to guarding against someone's Ichi. But that will be his downfall.
What's wrong, boy? Would you hurry up and discard? If you're not sure, anything that Corrado's already thrown, there's no way it should be safe, no?
Sakura is really fretting over this one.
Do you think Oishi's laggy inside of his own head?
I think Oishi is a robot.
That's all the
100%.
booze.
Yeah.
It's all the new
It was-
ports, yeah.
Yeah.
It was glaringly...
It was glaringly obviously a safe tile discard, but he didn't want to throw it away because it would move him farther from completing his hands. They're so nice when they're young and innocent. Stop.
Like, you got cut off saying
Arr.
stop, and then a few seconds later it just went or.
Are we sure that last sentence isn't something Akasaka is thinking?
That's true.
So he
Come
said
on,
when he saw
hurry up
Rika.
Throw out the
That's what he
kicker.
said when he saw
If you
Ichi.
gave me the winning tile, we'd be headed to an establishment where I could do with all sorts of lickings.
Jesus Christ, Oishi, you need
No, I
Jesus.
think this is
Holding nothing
Akasaka
back.
still.
Pervy old man.
If he gives the old man his winning tile, we'd be headed straight to the place with maids and bloomers.
This will go through, right? He looked up as he hesitantly threw out a tile that was. Oh wait, whoops.
He looked up as he hesitantly threw out a tile that was... Oh, too bad.
This is fucking weird. What is happening?
It is.
Hey now! That's a dangerous tile, you know. Corrado! Does that go through?
Yeah, it will. It seems this time you were lucky. But as long as the round kept going, I could still win off the draw. But after that, Akasaka-kun managed to luckily avoid throwing any bad tiles, and somehow the round managed to continue without anybody completing a hand. Tenpai.
I think it said Tepe.
Senpai.
No 10. Sato-san had keenly anticipated that two players were in reach and had decided to play it safe. What a cool-headed way of playing. Now let's see, what kind of hand did Akasaka-kun have? When the round ends with nobody winning in Mahjong, anybody in Tenpai has to show their hand.
Do you think he got a royal flush?
It's crazy how my inner monologue suddenly sounds like Akasaka.
True. Oh, sorry, whoops. Yeah, right.
But if you're not in Tenpai, you have no obligation to reveal it.
Hi, I'm in your inner monologue, Oishi. How's it going?
What the fuck are you doing here, Akasaka?
Just, you know,
You're right.
hanging around.
Oh my god, he's getting revenge! Your average beginner would normally show their hand, even if they...
Holy shit. Okay. Okay, none of this is coming through, Oishi.
Or he's being orbital striked.
Alright, let me try another location.
Actually, you, like, actually got EMP grenaded mid-sentence. Bro.
Lovely.
Can you tell your neighbors to stop fucking chucking EMP grenades through your window? Thanks.
Alright.
It's an essential part of the human experience.
My nearest neighbor is like a few thousand feet away.
Ah, I see.
And even if they weren't
Wait, you live in
Tenpai, instead of
Hinamizawa?
Koshaka,
I understand now.
how when this tile or that tile came, they would be in Tenpai. But he didn't. Being stingy?
How do you do, boy? Come on and show me.
Sato-san reached over to flip the hand that Akasaka-kun had casually placed face down.
What the hell is this? He was nowhere.
He was nowhere near Tenpai. Was Akasaka-kun totally bad at this after all? Right then, as the old man compared the tiles from Akasaka-kun's hand to the discard pool, a puzzled expression crossed his face.
Boy, you were in Tenpai right around here, weren't you? Why'd you break your hand?
The higher Manzu tiles suddenly got more valuable, so I held them back. Even though the chance they were safe tiles had increased with respect to Oishi-san's reach. It would have been safer to read the discards, but there was a player who went out of their way to keep the tiles out of play.
Oh! So Kurado's Tenpai was no good from the start, in other words.
If it wasn't such a high-level trap, I would have thought that you were waiting for me to throw out the winning tile. But the more concerning thing is that you were in Tenpai and didn't say anything.
When did you realize I was in Tenpai?
Around here? You threw out 4 tiles in a row immediately. At first I thought you were just discarding redundant tiles, but I noticed you glancing over at me, and I realized you were waiting for something. Wait, is this a reference to how you wait on tiles in Mahjong?
No.
What's Mahjong?
No.
Akasaka-kun, Akasaka-san, when did you first start playing Mahjong?
I never did, except in high school and university. Now, let's continue. Since Sato-san wasn't in Tenpai and the round ended without a winner, then I'm next, right? The next dealer. It seems like
It seems like Akasaka-kun is really aware of how the game flows.
I'm so not used to this.
We thought we were just going to eat him alive, but it looks like it isn't going to be that easy.
This is so fucking weird. Oh my god, he's so
shit.
cool! Look
The
at
cook
him!
himself!
Real?
Okay, well,
John Ace Attorney.
okay, well, easy thumbnail, I guess.
He looks like a twerp.
It's hilarious because he's literally surrounded by ugly bastards right now.
Oishi-san, looks like you're going for the bamboo tiles. Should I put some in play?
Shh. This boy. Kurado, don't back down!
As long as I get 3 more good tiles. Sato-san, I think
That last sentence.
Sauteing him.
Sato-san, think you can do it? God, lovely.
There you
I
go.
can't get a good signal anywhere in the house.
Yeah, I think your internet just sucks. I think you should go like, kill your ISP. Damn it!
Based?
I'll just force
It's
you to
really not
go.
as bad.
Damn it! I'll just force you to go for a cheat Tanyao. Cheat! A straight? Well, sorry, I'm going to pawn that tile. Whoa now! Going to call 3 of a kind after. Wait, sorry. Ah!
Oh now, going to call 3 of a kind after you declare a straight? Trying to override and interfere?
Boy! You're getting pretty used to this!
Oh no.
I can't believe it, the old man is Kratos.
I couldn't even compare to you guys, who have been playing since before I was even born. Last game, roll. Triplets, 2 red Dora, and 3 more Dora. I'm the dealer, so this'll cost you quite a bit. Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, that's what I would've did. That's the technique. I need your best ga. Thank you.
That is
You don't know.
God, yeah, that was
Pretty good.
Agasaka-san, nice job. Now we'll have to get serious, won't we?
Well, can you get serious about handing over your points? I'm tired, so let's end this quickly.
Akasaka-kun? This is somehow unreal. Before I could realize that there was an ominous cold air emitting from beneath Akasaka-kun's feet, it was a vent. They had just turned on the air conditioning.
Whoa! He has a different background! How blasé. The 2, 5, and 8 Monzus are laughing at you. Damn it! Boy, you...
Harado! Finish it! You have to end the boy's turn as dealer!
I hate to admit it, but that seems like the best option.
There it is. Ron. Simple straights, 1 Dora. Sorry, head bump. Ron. Straight. A head bump? You damn brat.
What the hell's a head bump?
I don't...
What is that?
I actually don't know. I assume that's when 2 people get run. I think. Right? Surely? Brat? So you'd play that sloppily against a brat? Guess that means you're worse than a brat yourself. It's so
Bullshit.
interesting.
I know you are, but what am I?
He needs brat Mahjong correction.
It's so
Lies
interesting.
on correction.
It's so interesting. The way you guys call people things like brat and boy.
Akasaka-kun, that is you, isn't it? It feels like you're a totally different person. Like the Akasaka-kun that was standing there just a moment ago had been replaced or possessed.
Oh, like,
It's a reference. You thought that I, being a sucker, would let you drink some good booze tonight. Seems that you were a little off the mark. Ron. Triple straight, red Dora, and another Dora. Whoa! He actually did it! That's why I'm saying you guys are slacking. No matter how you look at it, you have to be able to read such an obvious 3-way weight. Akasaka-kun chuckled as he rested his chin in his hands. That pose was so fitting, it was almost scary. Wait, wait, hold on, we have to see what the bathroom looks like, guys. It's very important. Oh, it's just the same bathroom.
It's the baseball one. It's the baseball one.
I can't believe they're in the baseball bathroom.
Hey, Gerdo. This isn't what we discussed. Who the hell said he was a naive sucker ripe for the picking?
Uh-oh, did Oishi die again?
We love Oishi. Who could it be?
Oishi-san, this is, like, bad. If he keeps going like this, we're, like, seriously going to lose.
Akasaka-kun, for you to make me get serious. Looks like you really want to be milked dry. Okay.
Holy shit! Oh, okay, wait. I need to take a screenshot of that. Okay, there we go. Looks like you really want to be milked dry. What the fuck?
Jesus Christ.
Bon. That sounds nice. One more time. Bon.
Akasaka-kun was almost singing at this point. The tiles he had open were all pin tiles. You can't be serious. Are you really going for the flush?
Bon. Boy, are you right in the head? You've opened 4 sets. You only have 1 tile left, you know. That's right. Did you know? Waiting on a single tile is the hardest thing to read. Are you an idiot? With that much of your hand revealed, you don't think we'd give you a tile you need, do you?
I know what you're doing, Aksaka-san. That's not a flush or a half flush, is it? The fact that you called pawn 4 times means you're...
Holy shit! No! You should come back.
Triplet hand. The fact that you called pawn 4 times means you're already in position for an all triplet hand.
I'm sorry, this must be absolute suffering for you.
Right now, you're far and away in the lead. Now, I'm enjoying myself as much as I can. You're trying to show a flush and goad us into giving you triplets, aren't you?
Wait, goad us? Goad us. Goad us. Goda. Goda? Goda! Oh my god, Goda is the killer! Guys, I figured it out!
Oh, it's small bombs.
Goda?
The cheese?
If that's what you think, wanna try throwing out some pins? The left 5 tiles are in your hand, Oishi-san. They're pin tiles you're elected to throw away, aren't they? Why don't you try discarding them in order from the left?
You must be joking. Is he a Mahjong god? If not, he had to be the main character of a manga or something. Or some kind of media format that hasn't been invented yet.
Like some sort of novel, but like with pictures. And also,
at that moment,
maybe
some man sent me a sign under the table. The message was simple and clear.
Birdo, do it. Crush him.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
I don't like to cheat against kids like this.
Idiot. After being disrespected like this, we can't pull back now?
You're right, we can't pull out of Akasaka's wife. Well, I'm not responsible for what happens, you know. Go ahead.
Here we go, boy. Reach. We'll go open. I'm waiting for a 1, 4, or 7 of pins.
most likely.
Most likely. The tile that Akasaka-kun was waiting for was one of those tiles. Akasaka-kun was no longer capable of winning the hand. When I drew from the wall, I switched out the tile that Akasaka-kun would draw. The tile that I put in was the 1 pin. One of the tiles that the old man was waiting on. Akasaka-kun discarded it a little while ago, so there was no threat of it being the one he needed.
Come on, it's like your turn, boy. But he has a different background again? Why does he keep getting new backgrounds? I knew it was trouble that the tile he drew was the 1 pin. Of course, he couldn't discard it.
Boy, he must be aware. But if you discard into an open reach, it's worth the limit, you know.
You don't have to tell me that.
The tile that came from Akasaka-kun's hand was an honor tile. Whew, ain't that something? There's only 1 north wind tile left, isn't there? You were counting on a really rough wait, weren't you? But with this, Akasaka-kun's fate was decided.
Brat, you're lucky you're safe. But if your hand only has a single tile, you think you'll be able to run away the rest of this round?
Oh my god, he got another background!
He just keeps getting new BGs.
I'm gonna screenshot every single background. So, it's going to be like that. Akasaka-kun glared at the old man with a discerning eye. This guy
had pretty good instincts. So good that in fact he was interjecting into my internal monologue.
Continue.
Maybe that was how he figured out. Maybe that was how he figured out. That
No. Don't worry about it. I can't hear your thoughts. Continue, Oishi.
Oh, he can't? That's good.
Yeah, I can.
Maybe he hasn't figured out we're cheating then.
I haven't. I promise.
Let's stop this. Akasaka-kun is a step or two ahead of us.
Fool! You think we can stop after we've come this far? Next! Make him draw it!
The next tile
Akasaka-kun would draw was the 7-pin. With that, it would be 7. No matter which one he discarded, he'd play right into the old man's hand. An unavoidable full payout.
Unless...
When I drew my tile, I sneakily swapped Akasaka-san's...
I can't force a sneeze, I'm sorry. Crash.
Crash! What? Akasaka-san suddenly sneezed, collapsing the wall of tiles in front of him.
Hey, what are you doing?
Sorry, I accidentally knocked over the wall when I sneezed. There's a penalty for that, right? I'm the dealer, so 4,000 to everybody? Or should I pay a deposit? Alright, we have the sex music back on now.
Unable to hold back, I guffawed. Akasaka-kun, knowing he was going to be cornered a second time and unable to escape, he took the drastic measure of knocking over his own wall.
You're a good boy. To get away from a full payout like that?
Oishi-san, could you not bother putting me in such an obvious trap? If we were at Baba...
It's you.
This would have been the point where I flipped the table.
No.
Babashiro-sama. Oh, no. Sorry. I underestimated you. For some reason, you're really good, aren't you?
Answer me honestly. You got a lot of experience when you were younger, didn't you?
I played quite a bit around Waseda and... Oh no. And... Takadano Baba. The place I frequented banned me for winning too much. I made the woman who would become my wife pretty angry.
Is you.
So I washed my hands of it all. Raise the stakes too high? How much were you playing for at the time? Depends on who I was playing with, but I had an almost perfect record playing in Kabukicho. Especially since when I played against a certain crowd, my life was on the line.
Oh my god, he's Kaiji?
20 times? Oh wait, that's probably...
20 times? What kind of stakes were those? Did you have Yakuza at your table? Or pro baseball players?
Baseball players?
I think it's a reference to...
What's this? Kurono! You buffoon! Where did you pull this guy from? He's practically a professional. I give up, jeez! Boy, it's your win, I surrender.
Thank you very much, it was an honor.
Oh my! Akasaka-san, your personality really...
Uh-oh. Yeah, okay, I'm sorry. Can you do the last one again?
Oh my, Akasaka-san, your personality really changes when you play.
There we go.
Why do you even have a day job? You'd have no problem living as a freelancer.
To be a pro Mahjong player, you need both talent and luck. I didn't have anything like that supporting me. Luck is luck. With somebody of your skill, I think you'd be able to make it pretty far. Normal luck doesn't cut it. Calling a con and 1 time out of 3, you can aim to win on... What? Normal luck doesn't cut it. Calling a con and 1 time out of 3, you can aim to win on the extra draw with a 4 Dora. That kind of luck.
Makasaka-kun, if you can judge something like that, you're already bordering on the supernatural.
No, there's plenty of people who can do that without cheating or superpowers. There was a person I met in Shinjuku who would get Doras every time you blinked. He was as strong as a demon. There was a pro I played with in Yokohama who would draw the tile he needed immediately after calling Reach like it was an everyday thing. I don't have that kind of luck.
What type of folks were those? They weren't named Ryu or Satoshi by any chance.
Well then, is it alright if I'm declared the overall winner, then?
Yeah, we totally lost.
I lost! It's been a while since I lost this big!
Still, when you were playing, boy, you were pretty into it. It was kinda scary. I hear that a lot, although not in that weird, effeminate tone. I don't mean to change gears like that, though. Did I really look that scary? 1.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, fine. Okay, no. 3, 2, 1.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh. Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Just like King of the Hill.
Not emphatically in agreement. So that was Akasaka-kun, the Mahjong prodigy. Before he goes home from his assignment, maybe I could have him go play at a high-stakes table in my place. But it's not good to get greedy. Well then, nothing for it. It was a promise. We'll break up our little late-night study group right now. Sorry about this, old man. That's it for tonight.
Nothing you can do! I'm going home to sleep! My body won't last like this.
Problems at work?
Oh, he's the foreman of the primary construction staff at Hinamizawa Dam. This explains a lot.
What?
Now,
What?
I didn't even remember this detail.
What? 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 What?
Well, he's gonna be dead soon.
Oh, you know, he's just that guy.
What a fucking insane thing to drop at the end of that scene.
That's a great twist. That's a great twist.
I screenshotted about 50 times, by the way.
He's butting heads with the residents every day. It's a rough business.
Around next year, I might be in charge of the second site as well. I heard that Kuroda-san was pissing blood. He won't hold out much longer.
Yeah, so about that, buddy.
You'll be alright, old man. Your skull is thicker than it looks. They couldn't dismember it if they tried.
In fact, I'm going to call up the residents right now and have them try.
I'm not exactly a saint, you know. There's times that just make my blood boil. I especially can't stand dealing with that bratty daughter of Sonozaki's. I think one of these days I'm going to rearrange her face.
Just threatening to beat up a child.
He seems like a good person.
Contrary to what he says. No. At least the pay is good, right? I heard the wages are pretty exorbitant.
Of course they are! If the pay was cheap, nobody would hang out around that god-awful job. Hey, Corrado! Exactly when are the police going to tell all the villagers to shove off? there'll be notice of eviction from the government, right?
Maybe? I wonder what'll happen.
The old man, who identified himself as the foreman of the Hinamizawa Dam, spewed a few complaints until he felt better about it, then left quietly. What a fucking just insane detail to withhold until the end of that scene. Wow.
Well then, let's go. I'll leave the rest to Sato-san.
Oishi-san, are you going home?
If I'm here, I'll just be on the way, won't I? Besides, the one who bought Sato-san's services was you. I didn't pay for my share.
Okay, he is doing that stupid fucking face again, in case anyone can't tell.
Oishi expert has logged on.
Oishi-san was
It's good face.
Oishi-san was kind of sketchy, but he was strangely conscientious about some things. I felt quite a bit of a gap between myself and Oishi's generation from that part of him I didn't comprehend. Then, boy... No, I can't call Mr. Mahjong here boy no more. Is Akasaka-kun alright with you? Yes. Then, Akasaka-kun, shall we go? Should somebody else take Sato for this scene? It's probably going to be a back and forth.
I can, if no one wants it.
Well then, Akasaka-san, later. If you're having any trouble, you can count on me anytime.
I don't have any more money to pay you, you know that.
Okay. If you go easy on me the next time, we'll be even then.
Oishi, seemingly still not having had his fill of playing around, but without overstaying his welcome, disappeared into the night. Yeah, he wanted to go see the bunny girls. That's his favorite type.
Odds? He's using out-of-game information. He's cheating.
No, Hinamizawa.
The informant, named Sato-san, had me get into his car before he set off. He favored narrow roads and made numerous short left turns. Checking if we're being followed?
Yeah. You know a lot about this?
Checking to see if you were being tailed by making left turns was a rather classic technique. If it was just a single pursuer, you could confirm it that way. But if you were being tailed as a team, this archaic method wouldn't let you shake them. Of course, doing it anyway was better than not.
I didn't hear anything from the boss as to who you are, Akasaka-kun. Related to the police? If you're familiar with checking for being tailed, the only other possibility I can think of is someone like a private detective.
If it's not something I have to say, I'd like to refuse to answer that question.
My. Ever since we played Mahjong, you seem a lot more mature. I wonder where that hesitant person went from when we first met.
I smiled wryly. Looking back now, I had to be a little grateful for being made to play Mahjong. Thanks to that, I was able to relieve some tension. Eventually, Sato-san, confirming that there were no cars following us, slipped outside the city. We were on a pitch-black country road, unable to see anything besides the lights outside. The only things I was able to hear were the hum of the car's air conditioning, and the chirping of insects and frogs. This chapter has been very different. This is like almost a different genre, I feel.
I can't believe Sato is driving Oishi's car.
Everyone in Hinamizawa is driving Oishi's car. He's not special.
This is
It's like Akasaka's wife.
It has air conditioning though.
without
Yeah. I'm so glad you
without the
understand.
inclusion of like Sadako. There's therefore no more goblins in the story, so it's a wildly different genre now.
True? I mean, we might still see Sadako, but we'll see.
Baby Sadako.
Yeah. Anyway,
I heard from the boss that you want to hear a bit about Hinamizawa Village, yeah?
like about the old house is known as the three families who control the place, or that right now it's pretty much the Sonozaki family running things?
If you know that much already, I'll cut out the introductions.
Thank God. Then, if you would, can you confirm or deny if the Onigafuchi Guardians is involved with the kidnapping of Minister Inukai's grandson? Sato-san checked the rearview mirror one more time to confirm there wasn't anybody behind us before speaking.
Last night, the Sonozaki main house held a family council. Did you hear about it from the boss?
No.
If it was a normal meeting, then it would just be all the relatives coming together over a nice cup of tea or something. But a family council held by the main house isn't quite so relaxed.
A family council held by the Sonozaki main house. That would be a meeting between those who truly controlled Hinamizawa village. They wouldn't be talking about private family matters. It would be about the village as a whole. About organizing activities against the dam project. Among other things, everything would be decided there. In reality, they were deciding the fate of the village. At the head of the meeting was Oryo Sonozaki, no sprite in the original, sadly. More or less called Empress Sonozaki, as the ultimate decision-maker of the clan, she was to be feared and respected. Infirm with old age, she was often unable to stand on her own, but her words carried enough weight to sway the fate of the village. It seemed that lately she had grown weak, and on days where she wasn't feeling well, remained bedridden. So what you're saying is, she doesn't even exist. Crazy. The family councils that occurred while she wasn't feeling well took place with her on the floor. In the middle of a dignified Japanese-style room, still in a futon, only the upper half of her body sitting upright, a stern look on her face. That was Oryo Sonozaki. Sitting next to her was her heir, Mion Sonozaki. That's me. She was still young. No. Wasn't quite... Young
Sonozaki.
wasn't quite the one word. What? You... Stop talking! She was still young. No. Young wasn't quite the right word. She was still a girl who remained childish. Her role was merely to sit beside Oryo Sonozaki, sometimes responding to her requests. However, she was the only one deemed worthy to succeed Oryo. She had the same hawkish eyes, enough to give pause to anybody who so much as looked at them. Much was expected of her in the future, this granddaughter of the Sonozaki's leader. And also, on either side of her, sat several other important members of the remaining three families, the Kimiyoshi family and the Furude family. First on the list for the Kimiyoshi family was of course the mayor of Hinamizawa village, Kichiro Kimiyoshi. And lined up beside him were several more of his direct relatives. Opposite to them sat the other of the three families, the Furude family. The Furude family was the only family comprised of a Shinto... the Furude family was only comprised of the family of a Shinto priest, so the only ones sitting there were said priest, his wife, and their daughter Rika. Rika was doted on by many of the older folks in the village, and it seemed that Oryo was no exception. While the stress from just attending a family council was said to be enough to shorten your lifespan by 3 days, it seemed like Rika was the only one exempt from that. No matter how charged the atmosphere was around her, she paid it no mind, instead humming along as she doodled in a sketchbook. In fact, the night before, lying on her stomach while humming and doodling, she nonchalantly tucked her legs into Oryo's futon like it was a kotatsu. All this was the three families. And all around the room, lined row upon row, were relatives of the Sonozaki family. The only ones who were afforded cushions to sit on were direct relatives. The others were left to sit in the seiza position, directly on the tatami mats. Isn't that supposed to be a really uncomfortable sitting position? if I remember correctly.
It is, but it's also kind of like the standard formal sitting position in Japan. Like if you're sitting on the floor.
I guess it figures that the respectful position would be painful. Anyway. With Empress Sonozaki enshrined at their center, they were almost like a giant snake coiled around the room. It was decided that everybody would sit in order of their rank. Oh my god, it's a reference! The number of people from the Sonozaki family was overwhelming. The fact that the Sonozaki family held so many seats at a meeting where everything pertaining to the village was decided made determining where the balance of power was held in the three families as clear as day. The number of the members in attendance from each of the families directly reflected how much influence they had in ruling Hinamizawa. What was talked about at that meeting? Sato-san, after remaining silent for a short while, quietly began to speak. Once old man Kimiyoshi.
Wasn't our monetary gift of appreciation to the media a little large?
That's probably the most convincing old man voice anyone has done, by the way. Breaking the long moment of silence was the head of the Kimiyoshi family, Kichiro Kimiyoshi. The Onegafuchi Guardians wasn't a business. They were nothing more than a private organization pushing for the cancellation of the Hinamizawa Dam project with no reliable source of income. Fundraising had always been a problem. When they first started operating, they had managed to collect a sizable amount of funds through donations, but as the conflict dragged on, that amount was steadily declining. This isn't an era where you can get what you want just by throwing rocks. It's very important that you don't underestimate the power of the media, and we want to borrow some of that down the road. The expressions of the people related to the Sonozaki family were sullen. As the one who suggested they should borrow that power was the family head, Oryo Sonozaki. The battle wasn't just about force of arms. In this civilized age, there were civilized methods of fighting. Oryo suggested that, creating a strategy incorporating the mass media. Oryo's foresight was spot on, and the effects of that plan, while at first unclear, slowly began to manifest. If the physical confrontation at the construction site was meant to delay progress on the dam by even one day, then the propaganda war using the media was aimed at attacking the dam project itself. At first, there were those who had doubts about that strategy, but there was nobody now who called those results into question. But in order to maintain those media ties, a colossal amount of money was required. In other words, she needed a lot of money, right now. As long as the amount of funds they had was abundant, things would turn out fine. It couldn't be argued that it was a massive expense, but the results spoke for themselves. But with the conflict continuing to drag on, the circumstances had changed. The head of the Sonozaki family, no, the one who sat at the pinnacle of Hinamizawa's three families, Oryo, had suggested the idea herself, so it was already untouchable, and continued to be allowed to drain from the budget. Nobody acknowledged that. It should be so allowed. But nobody could say anything. That was the price of dealing with the mass media.
What do you think, Ryo-san?
The only person who could object to a plan proposed by the head of the Sonozaki household, herself, was probably Mayor Kimiyoshi. Oryo, with a hard-to-define expression on her face, as if she had severed herself from the fetters of mortal emotion, simply listened quietly to Kimiyoshi's words. But really, it was hard to tell if she was quietly listening, or didn't even have the intention of listening at all.
Last year, we went through a lot of trouble getting people to wrap their heads around the price hike on the bulletins we were putting out. we convinced them it was just the one time, it just wouldn't do if we had another one this year. Right, Furuta-san?
The mayor looked to the priest and his wife from the Furude family for affirmation. No, we have no priest sprite! No! I doubt there's one here. Yeah, no, there's nothing. I was really hoping we'd actually get to see him, but no, I guess not. Anyway, the priest gave a vague expression, avoiding a prompt response. But his wife gave her answer without a second thought.
That's right. The cost of the bulletins are a particularly harsh burden on the poorer families. Everybody is dealing with it for the sake of the village, but it's best we don't increase the prices anymore.
The bulletin was, as its name implied, a bulletin published by the Onigafuchi Guardians. It outlined the Alliance's activities, ideals, and resolve, but you couldn't deny the contents were rather piecemeal. That bulletin's main goal wasn't to inform people, but rather something to sell businesses and people living in the village or connected to it, and using those sales to collect funds. In other words, it had become something of a tax. Of course, it didn't have to be said that this was one of the main sources of income for the Onigafuchi Guardians. Originally, purchase was supposed to be voluntary, but in Hinamizawa it had silently become the opposite. In the neighboring towns as well, it seemed that many businesses were buying copies just to avoid butting heads with the Alliance. The priest whispered to his wife to not say anything unnecessary, but was struck down decidedly with a cold glare. Cowering from that glare, the priest shut his mouth. Oh, he's scared of his wife. That's hot. The priest's wife always
Not
held,
wrong.
The priest's wife always held the power in their relationship.
Peggy
Based?
Reminds me of
confirmed.
someone else.
Based? No.
Reminds me of another character we've seen a lot of in this chapter.
That was because she was the one who carried the Furude bloodline. The priest merely married into the family. He was nothing more than somebody who adopted the name just to join the three families. He should have been able to find a spot fairly high up in the hierarchy of things, but the lack of authority in his voice meant that he had still not gained any favor. Casting a backwards glance at her rather disparate parents, Rika continued to doodle whimsically without paying them any mind. Signaled by a look from Oryo, Mion brought her ear closer to her grandmother. There, something was said to her in a quiet voice. After responding with a couple questions, with a nod from Oryo, Mion looked around the room and conveyed her grandmother's words. There will be no freeze on the price increase for the bulletin. Kimiyoshi made a face like he had just bit into something unpleasant, but that expression quickly disappeared, like it had never happened at all.
But, Neon-chan, I think you already know this. The cost of the bulletin is by no means easily affordable. It's a burden carried by everybody in Hinamizawa. To make people carry too much of that burden, it's possible will collapse from the inside.
And who on the inside would start that collapse?
Who? I didn't mean it like that.
I'm asking who would be the first to buckle. Being cross-examined by a girl who still had fragments of childishness remaining within her, the words stuck in Kimiyoshi's throat as he sunk into silence. Mion repeated her question once more, looking around the crowded room. Everybody refrained from making eye contact to avoid being pierced by her gaze. The words she had spoken were unarguably said in proxy for Oryo. That's why when Mion spoke them, they carried the same weight. But the look in her eyes was different. Like Oryo's, they had a hawkish gaze, strong enough that anybody looking upon them would freeze in their tracks and yield. But that gaze was without question one that belonged to Mion herself. as Mion would eventually inherit everything from Oreo. The day when she would stand up as a young, capable leader in her own right would come. Nobody wanted to believe otherwise for even a minute. That's why nobody even thought of Mion as just some sort of little kid. Kimiyoshi-san, nobody will lose their resolve over something like a price hike on the bulletin. Kimiyoshi, while grumbling a little bit, made a gesture as if to say he had no objection. The expenses related to the mass media will continue. If those expenses become too much, we'll have no choice but to continue the price hikes. Mion had rendered her judgment. Everybody bowed their heads, silently listening to her words. In the name of Mion Sonozaki, acting as head of the Sonozaki family, I hereby declare that all this shall be effective immediately. There shall be no objections, and any opposition shall be removed by force. The formal decree was read aloud, indicating her judgment. There would be no retrial. But there was a certain authority behind those words that even a courthouse couldn't compare to. If she was a judge, she would have banged her gavel, signaling that the matter was settled. Mion pulled out a large bell from inside her clothes and rang it. That's a nice bell sound. I don't think we've heard that one before, guys.
Big Bell sucks.
That's a small bell, though. Everybody present could only prostrate themselves before the harsh sound of the bell.
I'm pretty sure we've heard it a couple times before, just not in this chapter.
No, we've never heard that bell sound before. Especially not when Oyashiro-sama is mentioned.
True!
Well, that's a rather old-fashioned family council, isn't it?
A young guy like you would probably find it hard to believe. In an antiquated place like this, these types of things have firm roots.
It was exactly as Oishi had said. The old system of the three families had vanished, and now the Sonozaki family was running things by themselves. On top of that, their rule was borderline despotic. Was that the end of the meeting?
No, there was more. I'll continue.
Thank you. Eventually, after the ringing of the bell ceased, there was a deafening silence. Within all of that, a lone man shuffled closer to Mion and whispered something in her ear. Mion asked several questions quietly in response. When she was satisfied, she motioned for the man to leave. The man who talked to Mion was a member of a gang that her father was the leader of. That organization had the entire area of Shishibone City under its control, so it was quite well known even here. Of course, this was talking about the criminal underworld, so it's not like just anybody would know. But just showing a patch with the gang symbol on it was enough to resolve any disputes in the neighborhood. Mion's biological father, to Oreo, was her daughter's husband. Everybody following that description? Great. The power of that man's gang was the driving force that controlled the dark underbelly of the Onigafuchi Guardians. And so that man, from his position as the next in line to control the three families, continued to coerce everybody around him with his unconventional presence. Mion exchanged a look with her father. Was it okay for her to tell what she just heard directly to Oreo? It looked like she was asking him that question. Her father gently, but firmly, nodded in response. Mion also nodded, and sidled up to Oreo and informed her of something. Eventually, Mion finished conveying her message, separated herself from Oreo, and fixed her posture, waiting for Oreo to signal her response. It wasn't often that Oreo showed any emotion. That's why, when she started to laugh quietly, a vague sense of uneasiness crept over everybody in the room. That's quite the conundrum, isn't it? Oreo was laughing so happily that Kimiyoshi had to hesitantly ask. We need old man Kimiyoshi.
Oh. What is it, Oreo-san?
If this land is like a mother to us, then this business with the dam is like somebody threatening our mother's life, isn't it? Kimiyoshi, unable to comprehend the meaning of her words, looked confused. Oreo, with a wide grin on her face, turned towards everybody and addressed them in a clarion voice? What does that mean?
Clarion's like a horn, I think.
I don't know how to address people like a horn.
Medieval trumpet with clear, shrill tones. Loud and clear.
Okay, sure. The minister behind the dam project is apparently rattled over the kidnapping of his grandson. That makes us even. That's absurd. Information on the kidnapping of Minister Inukai's grandson shouldn't have been leaked from anywhere. How did they know? Even we didn't know much about the kidnapping incident. Exactly how did an antiquated household so far away from Tokyo come to know of it? It was a tranquil place, but I couldn't help but have an uneasy feeling about Hinamizawa village. It was almost as if some fucked up shit was happening there. At some point, I had mentally filed this place away as unrelated to the incident at hand. That mental paperwork had just blown away in the wind. How did the Onigafuchi Guardians know about that? Sato-san, unable to come up with an answer, fell into silence. I'm sorry. Please continue.
Sure.
The Minister of Construction's grandson was kidnapped? Grok, is that true?
I'm not. My name's not fucking Grok. That's it. You're the sacrifice for this year's Watanagashi. That major of an incident was nowhere to be seen in the newspapers or on TV.
This is why Kimiyoshi was lost in that one episode. Was payback.
But in Hinamizawa, there was nothing strange about Oreo knowing something that the rest of the world didn't. Our pain is the pain of losing a mother. I don't think it completely makes up for it, but the pain of losing a grandchild. He'll have to bear with that for a bit. Don't you think? The last question wasn't addressed to anybody in particular. It was as if she was looking for consensus. Still, land and a human child are different things. I don't mind hiding him here, but I want no harm to befall him. The child isn't to blame. Make sure to keep that in mind. She also did a little face scrunch there. That means that the Onigafuchi Guardians were involved in the kidnapping?
I can't say for certain.
What do you mean you can't say for certain?
I can't say for certain.
Not as explicit as it gets.
Why? Even though their leader, Oreo, was clearly giving orders on the treatment of the kidnapped child?
Lad, you see, this is what the Sonozake family always does.
Always does? What do you mean by that? Let's say there was a particular problem. One that wasn't exactly favorable for the Sonozaki family. If Oreo shows concern over that particular problem, hearing that, somebody who attended the family council would be helpful. As a result, Oreo's wish would be granted. However, neither Oreo nor anybody else would know who actually did it. With this kind of clever little ploy, the Sonozaki family was able to manipulate events, even though they had their hands laid out on the table. It's like they're cheating at Mahjong! Then, that means that somebody who was at the family council was the culprit?
Or there's the possibility that there was never a culprit in the first place. Oreo herself, in that room full of people, didn't exactly say that somebody pulled off the kidnapping. She was just giving her opinion.
It was an odd and an unpleasantly secretive way of doing things. Were they involved or weren't they? I couldn't see beyond the veil. This much, however, I could say with absolute certainty. This kidnapping was an ironclad secret, just like Ironclad from Slay the Spire. No matter how high a position somebody was in, even they wouldn't know about it. If there was somebody who would know about it, they would be connected to public safety. In other words, one of us. The only other options were people connected to the case itself. Including the minister, there would be people affected by the incident. Or the people that committed it. In any case, there was no way an old household in a place removed from Tokyo by over 6 hours of highway travel should know about it. Them knowing at all was already strange. My suspicions began to accumulate, like falling snow.
Just as much as Oreo said in regards to the kidnapping, hopefully what you wanted to find out was in there. After this, it's up to you. I don't know what kind of work you're doing, but if you're going up against the Sonozaki family, you best prepare yourself. Oishi might be fearless, but even he's been attacked 2 or 3 times. He hasn't been wearing it lately, but at one point he was wearing a stab-proof vest while off duty.
Oh? Thanks for the warning. I'll be careful.
You speak pretty well. Are you from Tokyo by any chance?
Huh? Well, what's your point? Investigators were always close to danger. It was best not to divulge any information on myself.
Your job? Could you possibly be somebody from the Metropolitan Public Safety Division?
I couldn't remain silent here. It would be the same thing as admitting it. Huh? No way!
This wasn't accounted for in the money I got from the boss. But as somebody who played at the same table today, I'll give you this one freebie. After Oreo talked about the kidnapping, there was one other topic that came up.
Another topic that Oreo brought up? Uh-oh. I have a bad feeling about this. Jinkies.
It's actually really funny.
Yeah, they, mentioned that, they were gonna kill some cop guy who showed up in town. It was, really funny. And right before he told me this, Sato-san asked if I was from the Metropolitan Public Safety Division. In other words, what those two things meant caused a chill to run up my spine.
So you see, that in order to investigate the kidnapping of the minister's grandson, there's word that there will be an investigator from public safety dispatched all the way from Tokyo.
An investigator from public safety?
They can't be reckless and make a big deal over the kidnapping, so it seems the Metropolitan Public Safety Division is investigating this on their own. Ain't that grand? What is it?
Rika, who had been drawing the entire time and was completely uninterested in the conversation up until now, looked at Oreo with an interested face as soon as the topic of public safety came up.
Did the Metropolitan Police come?
Oh, so Rika-chama knows about the Metropolitan Police Department. That's very admirable.
Who came?
Is there anybody that knows what kind of guy from public safety came here?
Mion's father raised his hand slightly.
I hear it's a nice young piece of fresh meat.
Huh.
Fresh meat. Is it nice and tender?
Hmm? Yeah, it is. Fresh meat.
Mion's father smiled wryly as he answered Rika's question.
Tender and tasty?
Yeah.
Tender and tasty.
Rika smiled with interest. Why did Rika suddenly act interested only when it came to this topic? That was a question that apparently nobody had the answer to.
Does Rika-chama know something about this man?
Only about his wife. I don't know.
After her rather flat reply, Rika buried herself underneath Oreo's futon again. But when she buried herself there, Rika no longer started drawing again. Instead, she was making an expression like she was deep in contemplation.
What shall we do about him, Mother?
Mion's father posed the question. He had the type of uncouth expression on his face, indicating that, given the order, he could snuff the problem out at any time. Oh wait, right, that was me.
Yeah.
He came all the way to Hinamizawa. Let him take it easy for a little while.
So you're saying to just let him go around as he pleases?
Mion's father asked in response. Oreo smiled thinly as she responded. Leave him alone. But, if he starts causing too much mischief, when that happens, don't hold back. I don't enjoy being taken lightly.
Is what they talked about, apparently. It couldn't be that you're that fresh meat from the Metropolitan Police, are you?
It couldn't be.
Thanks, Titus.
The sensation of cold, bristling fear began to crawl its way up my back. Sans?
Bath time?
This
Whoa.
family council took place last night. In other words, yesterday. Then, today, when I was dressed up as a tourist headed towards Hinamizawa, my cover was already blown? When I remember the first
Just
person...
Just like the other police that were visiting his wife. Already blown.
Oh my god. Well, if they were already blown, then they couldn't fuck his wife. That doesn't make any sense.
Because
Bad, dude.
Why not?
Yeah.
When I remembered the first person I met when I got to the bus stop, I couldn't breathe. The person at the family council who expressed interest in the man being dispatched from the Metropolitan Police, Rika Furude. And then, the person who was waiting for me the whole time in the bus shelter, Rika Furude. It was an unthinkable image. No, it was a delusion. When we met at that bus shelter, did Rika-chan already know my true identity? Did she know that I was Akasaka, dispatched from the Metropolitan Police Department, and come to meet me? Then, including Mayor Kimiyoshi, every villager that I met, everybody knew but just pretended not to? Because Oreo had given instructions not to interfere? Thinking about it logically, it didn't seem possible. I mean, after all, my outfit was just so normal, but with my face covering and all. I met quite a number of people. If there's people that are good at acting, then there's people who are bad at hiding things. If there was that many people, then there should have been somebody among them who knew I was from public safety and couldn't hide their hostility. However, I didn't feel any presence like that. But then, even still, why did Oreo tell them to leave me alone? Was it because if they were careless about it, it would only raise more suspicion? Or was it because they believed a rookie like me wouldn't be able to fight anything? Akasaka is a coward. I recalled that strange voice, which could only make me believe that Rika-chan had been possessed. That unknown entity, no matter how you looked at it, knew my true identity from the get-go. And then, how did it warn me again? That's right. It warned me to hurry up and go back to Tokyo. Instead of the realistic worry that the Onigafuchi Guardians had discovered my identity, the absurd worry brought on by the unknown girl stuck with me more. What exactly was that girl? What was the thing I would eventually regret? The mysterious girl, Rika Furude. Let's stop this. Everything I was thinking of right now was merely conjecture. Tomorrow, first thing in the morning, I'll report everything I heard right now to HQ and await further orders. There was no mistaking the possibility the Onigafuchi Guardians were related to this case was there. And the fact that my cover was blown meant I was in a precarious position. But as everybody at HQ was already extremely busy, they might not be able to spare the support.
Is that everything? If you want, I can drop you off wherever you like.
Sorry. In that case, the station where we originally met, please. A rural road where even a streetlight was rare. I couldn't see anything. I wasn't aware of anything but the asphalt that was lit up by the headlights. Outside of that light, was it simply darkness? Or was there something lurking there, waiting to strike? I had to think I drew the short straw here. I wanted to go back to Tokyo. For some reason, the voice of the girl warning me to go back to Tokyo still lingered in my head. I think we should continue our investigation. This is like a really good sign. I think things
got
are
so many
going
leads.
awesome.
It's the best omen possible.
Yeah, he has so many leads on like all the ways they're gonna chop into little itty bitty pieces.
What's in the box?
Oh no,
What's in
there's
the
a
box,
box?
guys?
Uh-oh.
There's a box. There might be a cat in it. You know, that might be what's inside the box.
Didn't they talk Yeah, didn't they talk about like cutting off the kid's finger and mailing it to him or something?
It's
Oh no, and it's fucking blood splatter too. No.
I'm sure it's just like it was a shipping container of ketchup, right? And they spilled it.
It spilled everywhere.
Yeah, it was like a prank. Gotcha.
It's like
Wait,
a glitter bomb.
It was just
but
a
it's
prank. Is that
human blood.
Is that a Deltarune Weird Root reference?
No, that's
sure
all
took
real.
a weird route.
It wasn't a dream.
The investigation runs aground. Who wants Chief?
Yeah, yesterday when we met at the restaurant in Ginza, the topic popped up.
That's overstepping their boundaries, isn't it? They're meddling too much with public safety. If they keep doing that, they're going to set a bad precedent.
It seems that Minister Inukai is openly uncomfortable with the way public safety is doing things. The Vice Minister is probably going to say something to that effect during Monday's debate session. But what can you do?
We can only have the director address the vice minister. That's why we pay him the big bucks.
Well, if it comes to that, they're going to ask him for proof that the minister is being threatened.
Sometimes I don't know what side he's on. If he's not on ours, then what?
The director, you say?
Well, he's probably getting some pressure from the minister. We'll probably just have to proceed with the investigation while he sweats it out in the vice minister's office and buys us some time.
Wait, sorry, there's a word there. Proceed? Interesting.
Proceed? Yeah. Is someone gonna dig a grave in the snow?
It's like he's in some kinda snow grave.
He might get so right out to dry that I'll be left with the dregs, though. So, how's the investigation going?
Oh my Jesus, this is making me realize like how thick the Higurashi references are in Umi. Jesus Christ.
All the juicy leads I was pinning my hopes on turned out to be duds. Honestly, I'm at a loss.
Speak for yourself, buddy. I got my swamp gas confirmed.
That's my favorite four-panel comic. The reports that the Hinamizawa Dam project have been showing up a lot lately in the minister's press releases. What about that?
I was like, what 4-panel comic? And then I realized.
It took you long
Well,
enough.
you say showing up, but it's really more of a very slight feeling that something's strange. He just happened to mention it during his speech at the XX Prefectural Forum. So it just might have been something that he was mentioning because it was relevant at the time.
If I remember correctly, a local organization there was protesting quite violently, no? I think Akasaka-kun was investigating that, just like we're investigating his wife.
I think those guys investigated his wife could possibly be behind what's happening now. Even if we can't say there's anything overtly suspicious about them, it might not be prudent to remove them from the picture. Akasaka-kun reported in passing that he couldn't deny that possibility.
Then, isn't there merit in investigating him? We're going through everything with a fine-toothed comb, so if they're one of the suspicious groups that are left, we'll eventually have to.
Well, they're not the only group we should investigate, right? If we're just talking about groups that are as suspicious as Onigafuchi, there's quite a few of them. We don't have the men, the time, or the money for it all.
I'll try asking for more details from Akasaka-kun. I feel like we should pay some extra attention to this Guardians.
He's reported that he's established a rapport with the villagers. It also seems that he's collaborating with the local police.
Keep your contact with Akasaka-kun on the down low. Also, if there's anything in his info that merits investigation, it's possible we can send reinforcements.
Got it. Ah, sorry. Chief Kataoka. There's a phone call from the director. Should I transfer it over here?
I can't wait for the tip to end. Right now.
Ah, no, it's okay. I'll head over there. Yes, hello?
Yep, I figured.
Wow! Who would have expected that?
Yeah, of
Writing
course
in
it
real time,
ends
by the
right
way.
there.
What twists and turns.
Okay, what's in the box? What's in the goddamn box?
Oh, Jackie's box?
It's like Pulp Fiction.
Like from Five Nights at Freddy's Secret of the Mimic?
My name is David. Do you believe that there are choices in life? Oh,
No.
we're getting poem time again.
This is a Deltarune reference.
There are many people who lament the following. If there only existed points in life where there were clear choices to make, we would be able to scrutinize those carefully and make decisions that would lead us to a better future. Every time I hear people lament as such, I cast it off as a rather trivial worry. Even if you were given a clear choice, it wouldn't be meaningful at all, and there wouldn't be any such path to a better future. Is this hard to understand? Then let's pretend that in front of you there are two strange boxes. In other words, you have two clear choices. Do you open the red box or the blue box?
Ah, I've seen The Matrix. I know this one.
A lot of things would be uncertain even with that choice, wouldn't they? If you don't have the option of opening neither, then your choice boils down to the natural impulse of opening the box that holds the better result for you. Then, after examining the shape and features of each, and pondering a great many things, you have to pick either the red or the blue. I'm picking red.
The red one's 3 times as fast, so...
Oh my god. If this was you, which box would you open? Red. Red or blue? Red. If you were to go by their traditional meanings, then red would be a dangerous, threatening color.
Well, I mean, in Japan it's also a fortunate color, so...
However, that doesn't automatically mean it would be calm and relaxing inside the blue box, either. In fact, it might even be that the colors are a trap to make you wary of the red box and have you open the blue. A trap? Could it be the contents of the box aren't a reward, but rather a penalty? See? Now you're at a loss. You're so conflicted over the choice between red and blue that you've started wishing there was an option to open neither and just leave. But there isn't. You have to open either the red box or the blue box. Oh, I forgot to say this, but if you choose one box, the other will disappear. So you'll never know the contents of the box you don't open. I'll just put that rule at the end there for you. Now, why don't you choose? The red box or the blue box? It's alright, you won't lose anything by picking either one. Come on now. I mean, I did say multiple times.
Take the red box.
I'm opening the red box.
You gotta pick the red box.
Have you thought about it? I probably should have made a save before that. Oh well.
It's a tip, so...
In the end, you chose this color, didn't you? As soon as you chose, the other box disappeared. So you can give up on the contents of that one, okay? That's the rule. Now, open up the box you chose. Inside the box there was a piece of caramel. I know you're a little disappointed. Well, that's only natural. No matter how you look at it, it looks like you drew the dud. The correct box might have had a bar of chocolate in it, for all you know. No, in fact, something incredible like a pair of tickets to... Jesus, really... The references in Umi are so fucking thick, aren't they? What the fuck? Why is this tip referenced in Umi? What? No.
Oh,
in fact,
I know why. Warcraft knows why too, I think.
something incredible like a pair of tickets to Hawaii must have been in there. Or might have been in there. But even if you wanted to verify that, the other box has already disappeared. There's no way you can check now. But if you can think about it from an optimistic point of view, just maybe, the other box was empty, and this box was the winner. And being satisfied, or perhaps not, with such a cheap prize, you pop it into your mouth and start chewing it happily. I like caramel, so I'm okay with this. So, what do you think in the end? If you were given a second chance, would you try to open the other box? But unfortunately, the chance to choose between the red box or the blue box has come and gone, never to be seen again. The chance to change your selection will never come. Don't your parents often say, every choice you make in life only happens once, so choose carefully?
Yes, they say that exact phrase very regularly.
See?
Word for
Choices
word.
aren't that great after all. Aren't you a little disillusioned now?
I don't know what the point of this tip is. It seems like a pretty good choice. Like, if you consider every possible outcome,
So,
right,
one
could be a
moment.
box, I feel like a piece of caramel is not the worst.
First of all, let me just make a save here, just in case. Second of all, I am curious what happens if you go back.
It's gonna yell at you.
It's probably gonna.
It's gonna yell at you.
It could be.
Get the
it could
red
be
box.
Like a rabid raccoon.
Oh wait, no. Okay, no. Okay. All right, let's see.
Oh, he's cheating. He's cheating.
Wow,
He's
you can't
opening the
do
blue
that.
box now.
Have you
Can't do
thought
that.
about it? In the end, you chose this color, didn't you? Okay. Yep. Inside the box, there was a stick of chewing gum. Right now, you're thinking, that's it? That's right. The contents of the red box and the blue box were a piece of... Oh, no! No!
You got owned.
Fucking knows!
I feel like in this case, I do something for over caramel, but
Yeah, I prefer the caramel. I think I made the right choice.
with just the knowledge of the caramel, it's like, it's not bad.
That's right. The contents of the red box and the blue box were a piece of caramel and a stick of chewing gum. You might have thought you made the wrong choice before, but now seeing them together like this, you can't really say that either choice was the wrong one. Blue's wrong. Well, I guess everybody has their personal preferences. If you prefer caramel to gum, for example. Writing in real time!
Real time!
You're definitely thinking of choosing to open the box again based on that prep. I was! No! I've been caught in 4K! The clear choices you wanted were basically this. The selfish desire to open up both boxes and compare the contents, then pick the one most suited to you. But you see, reality is the same as this game. If you pick one, the one you didn't choose disappears. So there's no way you could check the result. If at that time, if you had done this, or perhaps if you had done that, then it wouldn't be hard to imagine that you could be happier, or perhaps less happy than you are right now. In the end, you only have the pleasure of approving of or being disappointed by the choice you did make. But that's fine. After all, didn't you enjoy the thrill of making the choice? If, like now, you knew the contents of both boxes, then the choice between the red box or the blue box would just be a waste of time. Because instead of this boring game about boxes, you could be looking at the quickly changing evening summer sky, listening for the distant sound of thunder, and pondering if it's going to rain or not. That would be
Is that
much
a
more
reference
fun.
to a tip?
Maybe. Okay, I'm sorry. One more time. I need to see if there's different... I need to see. I just need to know. I'm picking red again. Let's see what happens.
I see, it's
Oh,
already
okay.
set onto the assumption since that's the first one.
Okay, yeah, so that really is locked in, damn. Well, I'm okay with red
Oh.
box.
Play
Everything's
true,
fine.
Ryan.
I really thought that this was going to be like a kid's finger in a box, but okay. Anyway. The glint in the demon's eye. I'm sure this tip doesn't have anything bad.
I think
happening
it
in
was even more profound than a kid's finger in a box, to be honest.
Uh-huh, yes. So the wake will be from 6 p.m. tomorrow, and the service will be the day after from noon until 1. The venue will be Okinomiya Ceremony Hall. I see. It's Deputy Mayor... Oh my god. Ikezawa's grandson's funeral we're talking about. We have to pay our respects. Mion, I'll have you go in my stead. Oh no, I'm everyone in this scene! No! Okay, got it. Should I wear mourning clothes? How much should I bring for the funeral offering? You can go in your school uniform. Make sure you button it up properly. For the money, 100,000 yen. They've done a lot for us. Mion quietly whistled in awe at the exorbitant amount of money her grandmother was offering. Ikezawa-san's been a prudent person ever since his days as the head of the Okinomiya Municipal Office. Even if those government types paid me a visit, they'd always stay outside. But whenever I offered Ikezawa-san a cup of tea, he'd come inside and carefully listen to what I had to say. He always lent a proper ear to what people had to say. Others should learn from a person like him. The two guests made a show of nodding, making it clear they were paying attention as Oreo reminisced. The sight of them trying not to get on Oreo's bad side was humorous enough to elicit laughter from Mion occasionally. How young was Deputy Mayor Ikuzawa's grandson when he died? Okay, somebody else take this, please. I don't want to be every person.
11 years old, apparently.
Oreo closed her eyes and shook her head lightly, lamenting the loss of such a young life. If I recall correctly, he said he only had one grandchild. How sad. There's nothing worse for a parent than outliving their offspring. You're really nice to other people, Granny. If Shion or I died, would you be this sad? Don't be stupid. Saying something like that is bad luck. Having got the reaction she expected, Mion cackled. The two guests, unsure if they were supposed to laugh along, instead forced awkward smiles.
We'll take our leave for today, then. We'll be by tomorrow evening at 5 to pick you up. Until then, please excuse us.
After bowing their heads repeatedly, the guests left by the front door.
Bow, bow, bow.
Mion saw them off, waving her little hand goodbye. They're gone. It must be rough for them to pay you a courtesy visit, Grandma. Or Granny. It would have been fine if they just broke the news over the phone.
Line ruined.
Damn. Well, it was true that Oryo Sonozaki was a central person for both her relatives and the residents of Hinamizawa village as a whole. As a voting bloc, they numbered in the several thousands. It wasn't hard to imagine the mayor would try to pander to her. Unlike Mion, however, Oreo was looking up longingly at the sky from the veranda. What's the matter? Are you going senile? I just thought that no matter whose grandchild it was, I feel sorry for them. Saying that, she let out a deep sigh. Mian was let down, as normally her grandmother would have scolded her for her attitude. Mion, you know, that minister's grandson. How long has it been since he was abducted? 4 days, maybe? Oreo let out another deep sigh. He may be the grandchild of our bitter enemy, but I still feel sorry for him. Really? That's enough of a warning. We should bring this to an end soon. The playful expression drained from Mion's face, leaving behind a stern one. And then...
He loves kidnapping.
And then, as if to ascertain Oreo's will, looked into her eyes. Whoops. Oreo, expressing her intention with only those eyes, looked back into Mion's. I want some tea. Could you call for some? Some of that chocolate, too. Mion gave a small nod, then turned around. Shimiko-san, are you there? Grandma wants some tea. Could you prepare some? From far away, a voice responded in the affirmative. Mion, after confirming she'd been heard, picked up the phone and began dialing. Hello? This is Mion. Yeah. Is my father there? We're calling off the hit. Apparently. I had a restless night's sleep, because I'll never know what happens if I chose the blue box first and then the red box.
He doesn't know what's happening to his wife right now.
Yeah, that too.
He does
Some
know,
things that
though.
You'll never know.
Yeah,
does
gets
know what's
off on a-
happening.
There's a chance he's
Yeah, I'm
not
just
being
gonna go
cucked
ahead
right
and do
now.
this. There we go. I did nothing
Oh,
but...
that sounds horrifying.
Just a little bit later. He has to wait a little bit more for that to happen.
I did nothing but turn over repeatedly during a night that seemed like it lasted for eternity.
Did nothing but turn over his wife, other man.
No. Even then, I eventually fell asleep at some point, not realizing how high in the sky the sun had risen. I shook off the urge to go back to sleep. It was then that I noticed that the phone was ringing. The time was almost 10:30 in the morning. It was clearly too late for a wake-up call.
Akasaka-san, good morning. It's Oishi.
Waking up to the sound of Oishi's voice was a little too much of a shock. Wow, they just rib on this guy every chance they get, don't they? My delicate ears were ringing.
It's like his fatness was so loud. You hear it over the receiver.
Yeah, you could hear it. You could hear his belly jiggling over the phone. It was like vibrating the phone cable, and it transferred all the way to Akasaka line. Anyway,
No, I haven't eaten a kidnapping victim, Akasaka-san. Suspiciously kidnapping victim-shaped lump in his stomach.
I mean, his stomach is already big enough to hide a lump like that.
No, but it's funnier if it's like suspiciously kidnapping victim shit.
Yeah, it only adds like 10% to his total weight.
Oh
Yeah,
no, I got the
that's the
hiccups
thing.
again. No, I'm gonna fucking die. Anyway. But thanks to that shock, I was suddenly wide awake. Hello. Good morning.
Could it be you just woke up? Even though you're on assignment, it's still not good to be asleep during regular business hours.
You're absolutely right. I'll be more careful in the future.
I have another tidbit that might wake you up even more. There was something interesting mixed in with the lost and found at the Hinamizawa police box. It was a piece of caramel.
Ooh, lost and found?
Let's leave the details for when you get here. Think you'll be able to make it before noon?
No, I'll be there right away. Oishi already knew what my mission was. Since Oishi said it was something that would wake me up, it was hard to believe that it would be irrelevant to me. And he just found a fucking porno mag. Oishi would do that. Let's
It
be
would be
real.
really funny. It would be really funny.
Honestly speaking, judging by the information from Sato-san yesterday, oh my god, fucking... Can somebody take the narration for a bit while I, chug a whole gallon of water?
Okay. Honestly speaking, judging by the information from Sada-san yesterday, knowing that my cover was already blown, I couldn't wander to and from Hinamizawa carelessly. In other words, my investigation was at an impasse. If there was some information there that could put me back on the trail, that would be nothing less than a stroke of good fortune.
Much like the strokes his wife gives to other men.
Oh my god.
Hell yeah, he loves that. After vigorously washing my face, I pulled on my jacket and hailed a taxi, heading towards the Okinomiya police station.
Oh, you're here. The genius Mahjong player has arrived.
My apologies for being late. So, what exactly popped up?
I'm still chugging water, sorry.
With absolutely no intention of reminiscing about last night's Mahjong game, I pressed him to get to the point. Oishi, anticipating that I would act that way, cut to the chase without any resistance.
Like I said earlier, something arrived from the Hinamizawa police box is lost and found this morning.
Lost items that were turned over to the police box were sent to Okinomiya Station after the paperwork was filled out. Oishi pulled out a plastic bag full of coke from a drawer and laid its labeled contents on the desk.
You want to snort a line of this with me?
A snort too. Is that a wallet?
Indeed. There was small change inside, but no bills. We thought that a pickpocket threw it away after pulling out the contents. At first.
I didn't understand how this wallet, so far removed from Tokyo, could possibly be related to the kidnapping. If it had drawn Oishi's attention, it would have to be something dramatic, like if the wallet belonged to the missing grandchild.
Wow, now Akasaka's predicting my thoughts.
That would be absurd. Like, something that convenient would happen. If that was it, then it would probably be initials written on the wallet. Like the initials of Toshiki Inukai, the minister's grandson, T.I., like the calculator. Thinking like that, at this point, I didn't suppose that this wallet was something that could get Oishi so excited. Oishi, after putting on a pair of disposable plastic gloves, handed me a pair of the same. I didn't feel that this wallet was such an important thing, so I had my doubts about whether there were any point in putting on gloves. However, I didn't want Oishi's intentions to go to waste, so I put them on.
Okay,
Oishi opened up the...
I can probably take back over now.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Oishi opened up the plastic bag and pulled it out, showing me the back. If I start hiccuping again, I'm gonna fucking die. As I had imagined, there were initials engraved there. But it was slightly more detailed than what I had thought, with Toshiki I marked on it. See? Nice and convenient! Oishi grinned at me with a look on his face that said, this is in quotes, so...
See? Nice and convenient.
We can't confirm from that this belongs to the minister's grandson, I informed him calmly. This wallet was irrelevant. It was nothing more than Oishi's overeagerness. First of all, there was absolutely no way in this distant locale that the missing grandson's wallet would be found with such convenient timing. After all, the Onikafuchi Guardians wasn't related to the case in the first place. He's just coping now.
There's so much hope.
So there was no way this wallet belonged to the grandson. Actual
It couldn't
coping.
possibly.
There's no way the wallet marked with his monogrammed with his fucking name could have belonged to him.
Belongs to Texas Instruments, didn't you hear?
Why I wanted to decide that was the case, even I didn't really know. Even though what should have been a top secret case was leaked before I had even been dispatched. In this situation, how could I say this was definitely unrelated? Would it be more prudent to pay attention to this wallet? It had only been a couple of days since I arrived in Hinamizawa. But in those couple of days, due to the number of remarkable events, my nerves might have become just a little frayed. Shaking my head slightly, I cleared it of unnecessary thoughts. I only thought of killing Tepe. I had no idea who that was.
My wife.
I don't even know who that is, but I only thought about murdering him in the forest. With Satoshi's baseball bat. I don't know who that is either.
Yeah.
Oishi opened the wallet's zipper, revealing the contents. Inside was small change and a number of crumpled receipts. Oishi, from that jumble, pulled out a folded card. Seeing that, my heart stopped for a moment. It was a card from a dental examination. The name Toshiki Inukai and the age. A perfect match. The dentist's location was in Tokyo. There was no need to explain any further. No, there's still a possibility that was someone else named Toshiki Inukai, you see.
They just happened to share the exact same name and also live in Tokyo.
Yeah, and they also happened to lose their things at the same time. So basically, there's no way this could be his wallet. How far was it from Tokyo to Hinamizawa? It was far enough that taking the bullet trains and cars would still take several hours. Why would a wallet with a dental examination card from Tokyo inside show up in Hinamizawa?
Oh gee, I guess there's no way of knowing.
Could it belong to a tourist who came from Tokyo? Yeah. Or maybe a villager on vacation to Tokyo. Just happened to pay a visit to the dentist.
On vacation.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Yes, you do.
This is worse than Keiichi's theories, bro. What the hell is this? No. It had to have fallen into somebody's bag by accident. In my mind.
Oh, he's right.
Alright, I'm putting on the crazy Keiichi voice for this. In my mind, I desperately struggled to find a possible excuse as to why this wallet didn't belong to Toshiki Inukai. It was as if it just wouldn't do for this wallet to belong to him. However, weeding out any possibility for error one by one, the haze surrounding the wallet in front of me faded, gradually letting it come into clear focus. I guess this is a little bit of a taste. I guess this is a little bit of a taste of what's gonna happen in Answer Arcs, isn't it? I felt a shiver of electricity run up my spine. My pulse quickened, and a thin film of sweat began to coat my entire body. From Oishi's point of view, I was probably slack-jawed and spaced out, with a slovenly look on my face. Did you get information from the dental office?
That's your job, Akasaka-san. I didn't go that far.
When did this wallet show up?
The person who picked it up was a villager. They did so yesterday, it seems.
Not that. I mean, when was this wallet dropped?
The reindeer last week, exactly 7 days ago. Doesn't look like the contents are water damage, so the longest it could be would probably be 6 days.
Does anybody else at this station have knowledge of the existence of this wallet?
The officer who first encountered it at the Hinamizawa police box, and also the 2 or 3 people in charge of the lost and found. Other than that, it's just me and you. If it's involved in a classified case, it'd be bad to talk about, wouldn't it? And I don't intend to wag my tongue.
May I borrow a phone?
Go ahead. Dial 0 to get an outside line. We have your wife on speed dial.
Oh my god. I dialed the phone number inscribed on the examination card. I could hear my pulse pounding inside my head. Could there possibly be something so absurd? The addresses on the receipts and the cards inside the wallet were all from around the area where the grandson lived. The name on the examination card was also a match. The time we deduced that the wallet had been left behind also matched up with the timeline of the kidnapping. Of course, it was possible I could just laugh it off as a big pile of coincidences.
That sounds like a great idea.
There wasn't any strong evidence. What are you talking about? What are you... Bro,
There really just wasn't.
bro,
Just one of the
he
evidence,
literally
bro.
has dental records in his wallet, brother. Rather than all the circumstantial proof, the contents of the phone call I was about to make would have a much greater meaning. Yeah, here we go.
Hello.
Who wants to be the
Sorry to
dentist?
keep you waiting. This is Nagakawa Dental Office.
Hello. This is the Okinomiya Police Department. I have a misplaced wallet here, and I'm trying to get in contact with the owner. Would you be able to help me? Inside the wallet, there was an examination card from your office. Yes. The name is Toshiki Inukai. If I give you the number on the card, would you be able to look up the phone number? Yes, thank you. If you could. Still holding the receiver, I pulled out a notebook from my breast pocket with my free hand. I opened it up to the page with the grandson's address and phone number recorded on it. Yes, hello? Yes, go ahead. I compared the phone number written in my notebook to the one that was being read out on the other end of the line. During that process, I spun around to look behind me uneasily. I locked eyes with Oishi. Oishi looked puzzled, wondering what the matter was. Why would I feel uneasy and look behind me? That was because the person on the end of the line. was reading out the numbers as though doing so straight from my notebook. It seemed that HQ was in quite an uproar thanks to my report. No matter how many times the authenticity of the evidence I had linked to the grandson was called into question, I could only respond that it was the truth. When the lead investigator first picked up the phone, I was grilled about the evidence I'd found that was almost too good to be true, if I do say so myself. But having doubt after doubt dispelled, he fell into silence. The receiver was finally handed over to the section chief. When he picked it up, the background thrum on the other end of the line disappeared, and I knew that it had gone completely silent. After asking the same questions about the wallet that the lead investigator did, the chief quietly spoke his next words.
Got it. We'll dispatch several people as reinforcements. They should be able to make it there by evening. Akasaka-kun, please continue with your investigation of the area. Get some inspiration on the spot where the vault was found. Kano-san will select some people and head directly there.
The fact that he was sending Kano, the lead investigator here, meant that the chief had decided there was a possibility that the Onigafuchi Guardians were somehow implicit in the kidnapping. You think?
Somehow.
Somehow?
Implicit! Implicit!
Okay, but I feel like that was supposed to give us a little taste of what is gonna happen in the answer works. I get that sort of vibe from what just happened.
What do you mean?
Because, like, we're gonna get more objective information, so maybe it'll be presented
And then
like
just
that.
just have each all like, oh, somehow.
Okay, I
Somehow
don't know about the
Palpatine
somehow
returns.
part, but I think Akasaka is still just hoping that his life might be in danger now. Anyway. However, it felt as though until the lead investigator, whom he trusted, had verified the evidence with his own eyes, he was still going to be skeptical about it.
How'd it go?
It seems that HQ is sending reinforcements. I was ordered to investigate the area. Where was the wallet dropped?
Around Takatsudo, apparently. This is Akinamiya. All the way over here is Hinamizawa. Then, even further upstream, way up here, is Takatsudo.
Ueshi explained where the wallet was found by pointing to locations on the map on the wall. This place called Takatsudo was even more remote than Hinamizawa was.
There's hardly anybody living in the area around Takatsudo. It was deserted a long time ago. It's littered with abandoned houses, so it's really quite desolate there.
How convenient!
The perfect place to hide a child.
Could I ask you to guide me to Takatsudo?
Yeah, I don't mind. You can't really get in and out of Hinamizawa as you please by yourself, after all. Of course, I'll have to make you wear the cap and mask again.
That Ueshi had agreed to accompany me was very reassuring. I think that's the first time anyone's ever said that. If Sato-san's info was to be believed, my cover had been blown. I wasn't sure if the villagers had realized that the fresh meat dispatched from public safety was the tourists that had visited the village yesterday. In other words, me. But deciding that they hadn't noticed would have been overly optimistic. Given a cursory thought, Takatsudo, where the wallet was found, couldn't be ruled out as a hiding spot for the kidnappers. The Takatsudo area didn't have any residential buildings, nor was it alongside a highway. There wasn't a reason for even the locals to go out of their way to visit it. It was exactly what you would call a long-forgotten ghost town at the end of the road. You couldn't ask for a better place to hold a kidnapped grandson. Also, you couldn't get to Takatsudo without passing through Hinamizawa first. Those several conditions made the area all the more important. I couldn't brush it off any longer. There was no longer any doubt that the Onigafuchi Guardians, or somebody hired by them, were involved in the kidnapping. If that was the case, then the fact that this wallet was found might have already been leaked to them. They even knew so much as how the Public Safety Division was operating. The case of the wallet couldn't be something they didn't know. In that case, there was a possibility that the enemy was lying in wait. To dive alone into enemy territory, surrounded by enemy territory, to say the least, required an amount of courage, nay, recklessness, that I just did not have.
Oh, I see. To dive into enemy territory surrounded by enemy territory. Yeah, it's slightly weirdly worded.
What about absolute territory?
That's a good thing to dive into.
Without your company, Oishi-san, I wouldn't be able to step into the village so easily. Thank you very much for your cooperation. Honestly, I thought you would ask for more money.
Well, if we're being honest, Hinamizawa is the place I exactly like to go to. I'd at least appreciate it if you paid for the cab fee. Still, it's not a request I can refuse for a friend that's played at the same table as me.
Oishi grinned as he pounded me on the back. Okay, that's
back shots?
Wait, hold on. Let me get the dialogue centered again, and then I'm gonna screenshot this for later. Oishi grinned as he pounded me on the back. It struck me that he just didn't want to jump ship rather than having any sort of sense of duty towards his job. Even so, that didn't really matter. Right now, I really appreciated the gesture. Well then, shall we hurry up and get going? If the enemy knew that the police had obtained the wallet, then they would probably have moved the hostage to a different place. There wasn't a moment to lose. But Oishi, without regard to the fact that we were about to head out, began to remove his jacket. What are you doing?
Well, just a precaution. If you want me to poke the beehive to get your honey, I have to be rather well prepared, you see. Do you want to put one on too?
What Oishi pulled from the drawer below the desk was a stab-proof vest. His name was Toshiki Inukai.
I thought it was Albert Einstein.
No, that was a different guy. The grandson of the Minister of Construction, Inukai. There was only one reason for him being here. If you didn't include gym or art class, his grades were above average. That was the result of having private tutoring sessions twice a week. If you omitted the fact that he still couldn't do pull-ups, there wasn't much else that would make him hate school. Of course, he understood full well that his grandfather was a cabinet minister. But he also knew that not too many people were that interested in their relationship. He didn't like to go out of his way to bring up his grandfather, or to call him the Minister of Construction. And finally, he at least tried to know a little bit more about the kind of work the Minister of Construction did than your average Joe. What that entailed was that when you tried your best to make life easier for the masses, sometimes you made a few enemies. He knew that all too well from the time he'd spent as class representative. His grandfather had many enemies. He knew that he might personally catch some of that fallout, New Vegas, so he had to be twice as cautious. He was taught that by his parents. That's why, the moment he was kidnapped, he instantly knew that this was one of those occasions. He understood that he wasn't being treated as Toshiki Inukai, the person, but rather as Toshiki Inukai, the grandson of the Minister of Construction. That he wasn't personally at fault, but that this was the result of some unavoidable trouble with his grandfather's work. It made little difference, but when he realized it wasn't because of anything he did, he was able to relax, if only a little. Of course, at first he was struck with a terror befitting of his age, wondering what was going to happen to him. But after a while of being tied up and only able to stay lying down, he began to ponder a great many things. First, he thought about the reason he was being abducted like this. He understood the answer to that easily. He was taken hostage to coerce his grandfather, the minister. There was no doubt about that. He didn't know exactly what the Minister of Construction did, but it was easy for him to imagine that there was much to be gained from threatening him. He respected his grandfather more than most. He earnestly believed that his own grandfather was within the top 20 of the most important people of Japan. That was exactly why he couldn't forgive anybody who tried to threaten his beloved grandfather. More importantly, he wouldn't forgive anybody who would use him as a tool to threaten his grandfather. His grandfather was really busy, and rarely had time to meet with relatives. That's why, with what little time he did manage to scrape together, he just dropped by unannounced. And, as an apology for not being able to meet during New Year's or summer vacation, he doted on his grandson very, very much. The number of times that Toshiki was looked upon with disregard, just because his grandfather was a politician and a minister, certainly weren't few. But he never thought even once that he wanted his grandfather to quit being a politician. So this is probably Burn talking, right? This feels like not Akasaka.
I think this is meant to be Inukai's internal dialogue.
But it's referring to him in the third person.
Yeah, I get that. But it's worded in such a way that makes it feel like it's meant to be internal.
I don't trust the third person. I just don't. I'm sorry. Because it was his beloved grandfather, he wanted him to continue his career as long as possible from the bottom of his heart. However, Toshiki was now being held hostage, and his grandfather was being threatened. Did you know that Ryuki, his grandfather, who called him the apple of his eye, was surely suffering? He might do anything to save his grandson. Maybe even putting aside his ideology if it was required to save his grandson. He might cave into the culprit's demands if it meant saving his grandson. When Toshiki thought about that, an inexplicable anger welled up within him. In his current situation, he was unable to forgive the cowards who would make his beloved grandfather suffer by using such dastardly means. That feeling swelled up inside of him, displacing the fear. What he thought of first was something any boy would imagine. Get out of these bonds, beat up the bad guys, then hand them over to the police. Images of all the brave heroes from all the manga he had read passed through the back of his mind. In his imaginary scenario, he slipped his bonds easily, floating like a butterfly to evade his captors, then stinging like a bee to bring them all down. In the end, it was nothing more than a silly little fantasy. But with his vision obstructed and unable to see anything, it was something that he could get into more than any anime at the moment. In actuality, he was enjoying these little scenarios in his head for the long period of time he was tied up. His captors hadn't really done anything to him that they would feel sorry for. However, eventually he began to grow tired of his fantasies, and more realistic scenarios began to run through his head. It was then he realized that none of them were a solution. Yes, he wanted to do something for his grandfather who was being threatened. That he was being held here to inflict pain on his grandfather was the thing that he could least forgive, and also the most vexing. And then, he noticed. There was a much simpler way he could save his grandfather without having to beat up his despicable captors. That was to remove himself as a hostage from the hands of these villains.
Holy shit.
If he was to disappear from here, his captors would have nothing to threaten his grandfather with. The captors had restrained him, but they didn't treat him roughly, and made sure he was fed well enough. Meaning, at most, he was nothing more than the means for their threat. They weren't looking to bully or kill him out of spite. If he behaved, no ill would befall him. Realizing that gave him a strong sense of courage. And carrying his train of thought this far, he let it run its course to its natural conclusion. Right now, at this moment, Toshiki Inukai had decided to escape. His ears had been stuffed with a sponge-like material, acting as makeshift earplugs. However, they didn't actually do much to block out any sound, and he could overhear everything his captors were saying. Realizing that this was to his advantage, even when his captors spoke to him, he acted like he couldn't hear them due to the earplugs. His captors, thinking that he couldn't hear their conversation, talked about all sorts of things without any reservations. Thanks to that, he was able to obtain various pieces of information. First off, this wasn't Tokyo. It seemed that this was quite a distance away, and on top of that, in the countryside, nestled deep in the mountains. He also seen that his captors were inconvenienced living out here, so he could deduce that this place was far removed from any sort of town. Finally, whenever they went to buy food or other supplies, they would always take a car. That fact caused some dismay, because he knew that the method he learned at school of running around blindly while shouting for help wouldn't work here. He paused his little mental escape scenario there. His ultimate goal was to find somebody who would help him. If somebody who fit the description wasn't close by, his chances of escaping successfully grew slim. A desolate, far-off land deep in the mountains. A place where you couldn't even go shopping without using a car. In this situation, escaping would be very difficult.
That's just called America.
True.
West Virginia.
He grew depressed, and after a little while, he returned to his original scenario. Imagining becoming a hero like in the manga he read, and beating down his captors became his respite. However, as he played out those delusions in his head, his heart, hating to surrender, continued to search for a way to escape. And then, he thought of a way. I wonder what way he thought of! I sure hope it's not anything bad! If the goal was far away, then all he had to do was get closer. His goal... Okay, never mind. He's not leaping to that. Okay, good. He keeps making me concerned. His goal, in a nutshell, was to find somebody who would help him. In other words, somebody other than his captors. If he faked being sick, then his captors would have to take him to the hospital, or bring a doctor to him. A doctor to him, you say? They would probably be reluctant to do that. But he already knew that the hostage was more important than anything.
They might get a baseball coach's help instead, actually.
In the off chance that something happened, like him dying occurred, they wouldn't be able to threaten anybody anymore. Luckily, he had an experience that would help him fake a serious illness. At the end of last year, he was inadvertently involved with a car accident and had to undergo surgery. The scar from that surgery was still clearly visible on his lower torso. He recalled the pain and suffering from that time. The existence of that experience would make a huge impact on the realism of his performance. He was quite confident in his ability to fake an illness. Okay, let me try to remember when I had COVID and I was like completely fucking delirious. Hold on. I am delirious. I'm delirious. I'm delirious. I'm delirious. I'm delirious.
Binding of Isaac reference?
He's delirium.
His captors at first took that as a sign that he needed to use the washroom. Untying only his arms, they tried to bring him there when he was still blindfolded. But he didn't try to get up. His hands, now free, only clutched at his abdomen as he writhed in agony. Hey, what's wrong?
Hey, what's wrong? Does your stomach hurt?
Weird that this kidnapper sounds oddly like Oishi. He still had his earplugs in, so he had to pretend that he didn't hear his captors asking the question. He was about to nod, so he hurriedly had to stop himself.
What's the matter?
Yeah, the kid's clutching at his stomach. Must be a stomachache or something.
His captors looked down on his suffering form for a bit. One of them proposed a course of action, while another laid his doubts that Toshiki might be faking it.
What's wrong, boy? Your tummy hurt?
His ears are plugged, so he can't hear you.
Well, that's a problem. Do we got any medicine that works in stomach pain? Might want to go to the pharmacy and buy some.
When it comes to stomach pain, there's a bunch of different meds, isn't there? As long as we don't know the cause, we should just buy him any old medicine.
He's old in his stomach. Maybe he's just constipated. If you buy him some medicine for that, maybe it'll calm him down. It won't kill him if they're wrong either.
Don't decide something like that on your own. It might be appendicitis or something. My uncle got it suddenly a while ago. That was pretty scary.
One of the captors leaned over beside the boy, who was bent over in agony.
I feel sorry for the kid. Whoa, his whole body's covered in sweat. Is it your stomach? Does it hurt? Hey, if it hurts, you shouldn't clutch at it so tightly. It'll only make it worse.
Realizing that his captors were concerned about his stomach, he inadvertently let his shirt right up, letting the scar from his surgery come into plain view. His vision was still obscured with the packing tape, so he couldn't see the reaction to his scar. But his captors were taken aback, and judging from their momentary silence, he had obtained the reaction he was looking for.
Hey, this is bad. This scar, it's not that old.
Does the boy have a fever? Is there a thermometer around?
No way we have one. But that's a lot of sweat. Yeah, his forehead feels pretty hot, I think. I've heard that under prolonged stress, old wounds can be aggravated.
Then what do we do? You saying the medicine won't work?
We don't know what surgery the scar was from, but in any case, this is bad. In the worst case, it could be fatal. My favorite RPG system.
Oh,
That's
no.
bad. This is really, really bad. Just like
Okay.
Fatal, my favorite RPG system.
Okay, so I know you're lying because Fatal is nobody's favorite RPG system. And I know this because I don't think anybody's ever actually completed a game of Fatal. I'm not entirely convinced that that's happened.
Devil's proof.
I mean, have you seen how many fucking dice you have to roll just for character creation?
I can say it in blue.
No. No, I will deny it with the red. You have not finished a game of Fatal. That's my red. Anyway. I'm not wrong, am I?
No, I've never even played Fatal.
Okay, good. Keep it that way. What a
Maybe we
fucking
should have a
random
doctor
ass
take a look at it. At this rate, there's a chance they might suddenly die on us.
Toshiki Inukai, with those few words. By the way, for the YouTube viewers, I just want to mention, you might not want to Google the details of that
Fatal
game.
on Google.
Do not do. I really.
That's the one with the
I really-
anal circumference check, right?
Yes. Okay. There's a lot worse than that, though.
That's the big one, I know.
No,
It's the
there's
important one.
much worse. I have looked into it myself, and I regret it. Anyway.
How many of those checks have you passed in your life?
Not in game, in your real life.
Toshiki Inukai, with those few words, knew that the situation was progressing exactly as he envisioned it, and snickering to himself on the inside, pressed his act even further. He didn't even need to see to know that his captors were panicked and were running around like chickens with their heads cut off at this troublesome turn of events.
Should we take him to the clinic?
Nah, that's no good. Probably better if the doctor came here.
Dr. Urie, you mean? Is that okay? Will that be alright?
Dr. Irie? Who's this person?
It'd be worse if anything happened to the hostage. Nothing we can do, it's an emergency.
One of the captors hurriedly left in the car. Another of the men, completely shaken up at this point, wiped the sweat from his forehead with a handkerchief. It looked like they were bringing a doctor. As long as the doctor wasn't an accomplice, that doctor was his goal. He was someone he should seek help from. His captors were probably wary of that happening. They would be prepared for it. This would all come down to luck. Some of the sweat emerging from his brow was that of nervousness. At that moment, the packing tape that was covering his eyes and ears was torn off. The burning light that he was seeing for the first time in several days hurt his eyes. After that, the gag that made it hard for him to breathe was also removed.
Are you alright, kid? We're bringing a doctor to you now. Just hold on for a bit.
The doctor was coming. The doctor was coming. Now, how was he going to ask for help? And how was he going to get away from his captors? A plethora of thoughts began swirling through his mind.
I think you know this already, but don't say anything unnecessary to the doctor. We don't want to hurt you or anything. You understand that, right?
Toshiki Unukai nodded while feigning pain and obedience. His expectations and the enemy's expectations. Whether they doubted he was faking his illness or not, they knew what his goal was, and would try to stop it. His stomach contracted from the stress of this gambit, making it seem like his stomach really was starting to hurt. No, it really was. But there was no reason to panic. If he failed with his approach to the doctor, there was nothing to lose. If there was something to lose, it was this method of faking illness to get in touch with a doctor. If he could think of any other methods from here on out, it wasn't much. But, at the present, this was the easiest and most dramatic way he could think of. The more he thought about it, the more it looked like this was his first and last gambit. Eventually, he heard the sound of a car approaching once again. The sound of the car doors being hurriedly open and shut. The sounds of several footsteps approaching. Is Dr. Irie here?
Yeah.
Cool. A young man in a white medical coat. I've never seen this motherfucker in my life. Who is this guy? As he acknowledged
Really
the
is
boy...
a sprite for such an irrelevant side character.
Yeah, really weird. As he acknowledged the boy, he does look like a really good guy, though. I sure hope he doesn't turn into a dirty criminal again later. As he acknowledged the boy, a suspicious look showed itself on his face.
Who's he? He's not one of those kids from the village, is he?
The captors didn't respond. From the looks of it, the young doctor had realized that this was an abnormal situation. One of the captors talked threateningly.
That's got nothing to do with you, Doc.
For a while, the doctor and the captors silently glared at one another. However, unable to stand the sight of the boy continuing to suffer, the doctor, as the captors had hoped, didn't press any further.
I'm concerned about this old surgical scar. What kind of operation was it?
We don't know.
I should really bring him back to the clinic.
Doc, we really can't really do that.
We really can't really do that.
He's very eloquent.
They really can't really do that. The doctor said he wanted to bring the boy back to the clinic, but the captors simply silently shook their heads at the notion. It was a fleeting hope, but it was only natural that the captors would refuse. At that moment, his eyes met with the doctor's. Seeing that the boy's painful state was abnormal, the doctor suspected it was a serious illness.
Are you alright? I'm a doctor. When was this surgical scar from?
Irie is being awfully normal in this scene. I sure hope he doesn't suddenly make a comment about his smooth skin. Last
This
year,
is an incredibly smooth scar tissue.
during the winter, from an accident.
An accident. I see. This is a problem.
He couldn't let the doctor figure out that he was faking it here. He had to somehow figure out a way to keep this going and tell the doctor that he was being confined and needed help.
I'm going to touch the affected area, okay? If it hurts, tell me where.
Ah! Seeing that it was extremely painful, the doctor crossed his arms and began to ponder. He had to somehow get himself to a hospital. To Toshiki Inukai, faking this illness was the performance of a lifetime. Well, you know what they say, fake it till you make it. Because his stomach did start hurting.
I don't think he wants to make it in this context.
Fake it till you make it.
Get to work, everyone. I know it's hot. Please do your best. If you catch anybody illegally dumping, please contact someone immediately. We'll act quickly.
Who wants man, or maybe mon?
Thank you for your cooperation, Oishi-san. Please.
A gap wide enough for a single car was opened up in the barricade. Oishi, showing his gratitude, or perhaps a threatening attitude, with a short beep on the horn, rolled the car forward through the checkpoint. This time, my appearance was the very embodiment of the word suspicious.
Embodiment of Scarlet Devil?
Well, no, see, that's like actually a really bad game, because like, if you look at Doom 2...
It's just like, it's like the polar opposite of Gungrave, wow.
Fucking great. A baseball cap.
It's nothing like a good shmup like a Ikaruga.
Like Beepock.
Did you just pronounce it Ikaruga?
Yeah, that's how it's pronounced.
I don't even like that game, but I'm gonna fucking kill you right now.
It's a fun game. I suck at it, but it's a fun game.
I don't like it personally. It's not my jam. Anyway. On top of that, even though it was sweltering, I was wearing a hoodie. Any respectable police officer would be loath to not stop me for questioning. I had meant to be overcautious, knowing full well that my face was known. But it might have already been too late for that to have been any use. Or to have any use. Using that as an excuse, I doffed the unbearably hot hoodie and windbreaker, ripped off the mask and hat, and threw them in the seat behind me.
Oh my, is that okay?
With a cheap little disguise like this, they probably figured it out anyways.
That just might be the case.
Oishi, probably thinking that my unexpected behavior was funny, continued to laugh. The beautiful and pristine scenery of Hinamizawa spread out before me. The village itself would have been quite beautiful if it weren't for the complicated circumstances surrounding it at the moment. I would absolutely love to take Yukie for a drive here one day. Come to think of it, I didn't get a chance to call her last night. I played around with the idea in my head. But in reality, this village wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. You take that back!
He's acting like things happen in Hinamizawa.
Doesn't know what he's talking about.
He doesn't know jack shit. Literally nothing bad happens.
Nothing ever happens. Period.
I had heard everything at the prefectural headquarters. Well, no, I've actually changed my theory from nothing ever happens to nothing bad ever happens. Like, good things happen all the time, and there's no catch. That's the best part. There's never any catch, because nothing bad ever happens. I had heard everything at the prefectural headquarters. At the heart of this village, the intelligence network that the Free families wielded was, due to blood ties and regional relationships, unbelievably well organized. Their net spread not just around Hinamizawa itself, but encapsulated the entirety of the city of Shishibone as well. When I first heard that, Somewhere in the recesses of my mind, I didn't take it completely seriously. How could a local organization out in the boonies here have something so grandiose? I couldn't deny that somewhere in the back of my mind I had ridiculed that thought. But not only were they really threatening the mayor, but they had demonstrated that they had a complete grasp on our movements, which were supposed to be top secret. They were almost like the secret police that controlled a small Eastern European country, like in some spy novel.
What is he talking about?
Man,
Oddly specific.
that's very specific. Thank you, Ryukishi. Very cool. Did he have like a specific novel in mind, do you think?
Probably.
The villagers here wouldn't bat an eye at someone getting their hands dirty if it meant fighting the dam project. I also heard something like that in the prefectural headquarters. Now that you mention it, when I first arrived here, Oishi also said that this place was a war zone, didn't he? The residents of this village were at the same time freedom fighters. Although by definition, they were no different than the guerrillas or a militia. They weren't protected by the Geneva Convention, but they also didn't have to adhere to those rules either. This place was more of a quagmire than any legitimate battlefield. A secret
Family
war.
Guy?
What?
A quagmire is a real thing. It's not just from Family Guy, guys.
Family Guy?
It is just from Family Guy, don't believe him.
Family Guy came first.
A soft,
also
boggy area of land that gives way underfoot. An awkward,
Oh,
complex,
that
or
one guy
hazardous
from
I
situation.
can't believe they named something. I can't believe they named something after Quagmire. That's crazy.
They did not
for
name
Family
it
Guy.
after
Family Guy-
Quagmire.
Family Guy really is the most influential media of our generation.
They did not
Yeah.
name
True and
it
real.
after Quagmire from Family Guy. They named Quagmire from Family Guy after the word.
Ted, just a minority extreme opinion.
Tej, we're going to take you out back for that.
I could. Okay,
It's
well,
wrong and also no one
have
cares.
fun narrating the rest of the chapters, guys. I could drive along because Oishi was with me. But if I was to leave this car for even something as trivial as looking for a vending machine, there was a chance I wouldn't return. Even though a single shot hadn't been fired, this was a battlefield. No. The reason why bullets weren't flying was simply because it was hard for a civilian to obtain a gun in Japan. So they were probably just equipped with weapons other than guns that were easier to obtain. That was why Oishi was wearing that stab-proof vest, wasn't he?
Akasaka-san, are you nervous?
The fact that I was apprehensive was, of course, picked up on by Oishi. If he already figured it out, there was no point in trying to deny or hide it. Of course I am. Wait, sorry, hold up. We're headed directly into the heart of enemy territory alone, aren't we? I'm worried about if something unlikely happens with just the two of us.
We can make it if we try. Something unlikely. It'll be alright.
Isn't everybody in this village our enemy? If everybody gets their story straight, they could murder someone in broad daylight and there wouldn't be a shred of evidence. I'm asking about something like that. This is what the ironclad rule of not barging into a Yakuza office alone was about. If there wasn't a neutral party involved, that area wasn't bound by the laws of common sense. If something happened, you wouldn't be able to prove it, and there wasn't anybody who would take your side. It was pretty much the definition of poking the bear.
Can you open the chat lock for a sec? Or the text lock? Thanks. Never mind.
Okay. I've
I've left word that we're headed towards the Hinamizawa area. And in the worst case, we've also got a radio. I know you're scared, Akasaka-san, but it's not that easy to pull off the perfect crime. Well, of course, that doesn't mean we can let our guard down either. Akasaka-san, you're too worked up over this. You were more relaxed the last time we came here together, weren't you?
Laughing it off, Oishi thumped his chest and grinned, as if to say I could depend on him.
Well, if it gets really iffy, this comes with having the badge.
Oishi made a motion by sticking out his index finger. It was undoubtedly the image of a gun. Will it be of any use?
If you're not afraid of dealing with the aftermath after you shoot, it's actually very reassuring.
An officer's gun was only for show. If you really wanted to fire it, there were quite a number of stipulations, and you had to be prepared for the long probationary period afterwards. That definitely wasn't worth it. So even if an officer did unholster his gun, there wasn't one who actually wanted to pull the trigger.
Akasaka-san, are you carrying one? One of these?
Well, yeah,
You ever fired it?
I have. For training, though.
Well,
Yeah,
I guess that'd be true.
This is I have friends who are snipers in the military, ass answer. Anyway.
Well, I guess that'd be true.
Well then, have you, Oishi-san?
Me? Nah, there's no way.
What was this? I thought he was laughing at me because he had experience. The two of us laughed together.
I've also never pointed the barrel at anybody. I've looked down the barrel of a gun a few times, though. Just being made to look down the barrel like that is enough to shorten your lifespan by about 3 years. Sort of like going to a Sonozaki family meeting.
Even if he had never fired a gun before, you couldn't even begin to compare the amount of experience Oishi had over me. At a time like this, I could only marvel again at how reliable Oishi seemed.
Why's the story glazing Oishi so hard?
You know exactly why. I didn't want to come this way in the middle of the day, but there's no way for a car to get through other than here. It's because of all the people that are busy glazing Akasaka's wife.
No.
Akasaka-san, just in case, put on the mask again to hide your face, please.
What's the matter?
Can you not hear it because the air conditioning is too loud? I'll turn it off. Try opening the window.
Akasaka, get out of the car, that's not Oishi. It's a fucking skinwalker trying to deceive you.
When
Return the air conditioning off.
When I opened the window, a blast of hot air blew inside. And then, I could hear angry yelling coming from far away. At that moment, the forest gave way on either side of us, and our view expanded suddenly. And there could be seen the Hinamizawa Dam construction grounds. The very front line for Hinamizawa Village. Alright, this is everyone ever.
Give us our countdown.
3, 2, 1.
We're
absolutely opposed to the construction of the
Hinamizawa
Dam.
That was a
Beautiful.
mess, it's great.
The crackling blare of someone's voice over an enormous loudspeaker.
That'll sound great in recording, I imagine.
Yes. The roar of angry voices continued to rumble.
Rumbling is a good description for it.
The incredible volume had become a veritable sound cannon, spewing out its ammunition.
Sound cannon. Veritable
It's a Pokemon
Sound
move or
Cannon is like
something,
a
I
great
think.
band name.
I think Pokemon has a move like that, yeah?
The prefabricated site office was surrounded by 2 seats. Sorry, why did I say 2 seats? The prefabricated site office was surrounded by 2 sets of high fences laced with barbed wire.
It was surrounded by 2
He said
cut
free
chairs.
fabricated, by the way.
Yeah, it was surrounded by 2 cut chairs.
Listen, I had the hiccups earlier. I'm still not emotionally recovered from that.
Yeah, you'll be beaten up for this.
Lined up in front of those fences were riot police in their vehicles, and surrounding it all were the villagers. They held out their protests against the dam as a single entity.
No, there's not too many of them today. We're in luck.
That's not too many?
Yeah, when there's a lot of them, the crowd reaches as far as the road. You wouldn't even be able to inch forward in a car.
At first, due to their overwhelming intensity, it looked to me
Oh
like...
my god, JJK reference?
I've never read that. At first...
They left it all behind?
At first, due to their overwhelming intensity, it looked to me like there was more people than there actually was, but upon closer inspection, there were at most 50 to 70 of them. But the 6 or 7 propaganda trucks lined up that looked like they belonged to a band of thugs were a strange enough sight. The villagers were also wearing helmets and bandanas, as well as covering their faces with masks, adding to the oddity of it all. The propaganda trucks, after braying their chorus, had their volume turned up even higher and began to flood the area with sutras. To say the noise was downright violent wouldn't be an understatement. From this distance, it was still this loud. The glass in the office was probably rattling from the noise.
They can't do anything there but take it, just like your wife. Those Riot Squad guys, every one of them is wearing earplugs, but they're still having their hearing damaged. Poor sobs.
Can you do something about it with noise ordinance laws?
Our prefecture doesn't have any laws regarding noise ordinance. Also, those are sutras, right? We can't regulate religious activities. Those guys are pretty smart.
Maybe they should start playing the Kama Sutra so that Oishi and Akasaka can get it on finally. Is what I think Oishi said.
Oishi did not say that. He does not talk about himself in third person.
Oishi talks about himself in the third person. Actually, no matter how tightly the window was shut, the booming sound of the sutras still filled the car. I couldn't even hear what Oishi, who was sitting right next to me, was saying. As the car approached the line of propaganda trucks, the blare became difficult to bear. It wasn't enough to just plug my ears with my fingers. I had to hold my head to keep my skull from splitting apart. If I had seen this terrifying energy sooner, I would have probably understood what Hinamizawa village was much quicker. Now I knew. They wouldn't blink an eye at sacrificing themselves in order to protect their hometown. So goddamn noisy. Shut up, shut up, shut up! My head throbbed and felt like it was going to split apart. My eardrums crackled, and to top it all off, I felt like I was going to throw up. With the road crowded with a throng of squatters, the propaganda trucks, and the riot police's vehicles, it was in no way easy to get by. Even if you tried to shoot the squatters with a car horn, they were also wearing earplugs, oblivious to noises from the outside world, and wouldn't easily move. The car could only inch forward at a snail's pace. Even then, the car eventually got through, starting to leave the tumultuous noise behind.
Hey, the old guy that was playing Mahjong with us last night? Remember him?
I remember that there was an older person who didn't exactly mince words. The guy that Oishi called Old Man. There was someone like that?
You see, he's the foreman of the main construction site. He's probably holed up in that prefab building, trying to work while irritated out of his mind. Poor fella.
Yeah, poor guy. I sure hope nothing bad happens to him. I think I'm gonna get really attached to that character. What do you think, guys? You wouldn't be able to stand it if it's like that every day.
Yeah, there's no end to the number of people who can't handle it and quit. But every time that happens, their wages go up, so I won't say it's in vain.
Even having to deal with all that noise and hostility, they still made a wage that Oishi found enviable.
These guys. Can they hear or can't they?
A group of squatters were in the way of the car. Oishi, sufficiently annoyed, laid into the horn, but there was no indication that they were moving anytime soon. In this din, could they not even hear the car horn? A car horn? Or did they hear it and were being malicious? If there were any riot police nearby, they would have made people move, but it just so happened that there weren't any around here.
Ah, jeez. Wait just a minute.
Oishi opened up the door. The hot air and even more heated roar of the crowd spilled into the car. Yeah, just do like Link noises. Thank you. Oishi said something as he grinned widely, but I couldn't hear what it was. Hup!
Oh,
Hup!
perfect then.
Hup! 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 He was getting them to move. Something like that? Oishi stepped out of the car and closed the door. The din faded slightly. I stared blankly as Oishi headed towards the group and started some sort of conversation. Maybe we'd find the minister's grandson at Takatsudo. At the very least, I wanted to find him there. Find him, and slip the cursed bonds of this incomprehensible village. I could only pray. At that moment, a shadow was suddenly cast over me. Somebody was standing right outside the passenger side window, blocking the sunlight. I spun around, looked up, and realized who the backlit figure was. Yeah, I figured. Huh? It was a girl. It was Rika Furude. The girl stared down at me with a bored look in her eyes. I didn't have any justification for it, but I felt like I had been found by somebody I shouldn't be found by. To fill the silence, I raised my hand as I mouthed a meek greeting. Of course, there was no way she heard my small voice in this clamor. But even then, she should have seen me wave my hand in greeting. In spite of that, she simply stared down at me with a cold look on her face. At that moment, the noise and heat spread throughout the car once again. Oishi had returned to the driver's seat. Taking a look, the group that were blocking the road had started to move aside while glaring our way.
Sorry to keep you waiting. Shall we go?
Oishi registered the figure of the girl behind me. One of the villagers came over and picked her up. In a manner of, "It's dangerous, so get away." It was then that she whispered one or two words. However, I couldn't hear any of it.
Well then, let's go.
I'm gonna guess those words were, "Go home," or "Just
You
leave."
fucked up. I'm gonna gun it, okay?
Whoa, he picked the gunner class?
But of course, still within the speed limit.
We all know Oishi's very fond of his
That's-
laws.
Yeah, that's how you know this Oishi's a skinwalker again.
As if to shake off the still audible angry voices, Oishi floored the... Swamp gas?! That's crazy! How did he get that in his car?
The turbo.
Along with the roar and the din and the shouting, the villagers and the girl quickly disappeared behind us.
As soon as we're through here, we're in Takatsudo. Are you okay if we end up getting into a firefight? Don't be fumbling with the safe at the last moment, you hear?
Oishi laughed mockingly again. I was more concerned with what the girl had said, however, as I was vaguely bothered by it. What was she trying to say with that apathetic and candid expression?
Suppose it's normal if you're nervous
you
from here
skipped
on
a line.
out. But if you don't deal with it, there's a chance you might do something rash.
Oh, whatever.
Ellipses. But there was no longer a way to confirm what the girl had tried to tell me. It might have been that the girl who warned me to go back to Tokyo again, or else was saying to me who was here now, ignoring that warning.
Even though I warned you. What a fool.
I had the feeling she said something like that. Okay, well, that's probably where we'll wrap up for this week.
Yeah. We're past time by a good
Yeah,
bit.
we're pretty well
That's a good
past
stopping
time.
point, too.
Yep.
That's scene cut, basically.
I'm so sad we'll never find out what happened if we picked the blue box and then the red box. Ever.
Isn't that what we did?
I picked the red box and then the blue box.
That's part of
Yeah,
the
but
whole
then
theme,
we
you know?
picked
You'll
the
never-
red
you'll-
box.
Yeah,
You'll
but
never
so
know.
colorblind,
You'll-
so...
Yeah, but it was the same.
You'll-
It didn't change, because we already chose
Yeah,
it.
it always, even after choosing it the first time, it just assumes it's the first choice,
Yeah.
and then you haven't seen the other one.
Alright,
That's part of the
anyway.
whole
But you
thing,
still
though.
did it.
That- You made that choice, and now you'll never know what the other choice would have resulted.
Anyway,
Bam.
I think Rika is normal, and you guys need to, like, get off her back. You guys are suspecting Rika
Rika's-
way too hard. She's just like
Rika's
a
never done
normal,
anything-
ordinary girl.
Rika's never done anything freaky in her life.
And she can't even get married anymore, so, like...
When that happens,
Bye,
that only
YouTube.
happens.
This is a